Order, Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Fodor? Here. Mr. General? Here. Mr. Kelly?
You can't answer yet.
I know that. So right now he is absent.
No, he's there.
Mr. Cole?
Present.
Ms. Falstrini? Here. And Mr. Robinson?
Present. I just want to make sure. Okay, now, the next order of business is we do have Mr. Kelly traveling for business. I will entertain a motion to allow Mr. Kelly, or Trustee Kelly, to attend electronically to our meeting. So moved. Third. Questions, comments? With that being said, all votes from this point forward will be roll call votes because of the electronic attendance. So, Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Ms. General?
Aye.
Mr. Cole?
Aye.
Ms. Falstrini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
And Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Welcome to the meeting, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you all.
Awesome. All right. So next we have the Pledge of Allegiance. So please rise, period.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So we have a packed agenda tonight. We're just going to go right down the line. I am going to add, our village manager is on family business this evening. So Mo's going to do his best to take her place. And then we're going to fill out comment cards at the end of the meeting and give them to Mary Jo when she goes. With that, I have a proclamation to read first. So May is Motorcycle Awareness Month. And so as we did last year, the Duquesne Abate, we have Mr. Mike Nicholson here from Abate. And the Abate has asked us to proclaim May Motorcycle Awareness Month here in the village of Hampshire. So it says, whereas safety is the highest priority for highway streets of our village and state, and whereas the great state of Illinois is proud to be a national leader in motorcycle safety and education and awareness, and motorcycles are primary, common, and economical means of transportation that reduces fuel consumption, that seems to be important now, and road wear, and contributes in a significant way to the relief of traffic and parking and congestion. And whereas it is especially meaningful that the citizens of our village and our state be aware of motorcycles on the roadway and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety, whereas the members of Abate, Illinois, Inc., a brotherhood aimed toward education, continually promote motorcycle safety education and awareness in high school drivers education programs and the general public in our village and state, presenting motorcycle awareness programs to over 120,000 participants in Illinois over the past 9 years. Whereas all motorcycles should join Abate, Illinois, in actively promoting the safe operation of motorcycles, as well as promoting motorcycle safety education, awareness, and respect for the citizens of our village, state, and whereas the motorcyclists of Illinois have contributed extensive volunteerism and money in national and community charitable organization. And whereas during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in the safe sharing of roadways within the village of Hampshire and throughout the great state of Illinois. Therefore, I, Michael J. Reed Jr., President of the Village of Hampshire, in the great state of Illinois, in recognition of 39 years of Abate of Illinois and the over 352,318 registered motorcyclists statewide, and in recognition of the continued role Illinois serves as a leader in motorcycle safety and education awareness, do proclaim the month of May this year, 2026, as Motorcycle Awareness Month in the village of Hampshire. So, if you've got anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I wanted to say, first off, thank you very much for doing this, everybody. Just, he was mentioning we do go out to high schools and such. So far this school year, the three people that we have to go out and visit the schools, part of their driver education programs, have spoken to just about 800, and as of last month, they had 200 more. They expected to speak to 200 more students before the end of the school year. It is important. We appreciate it very much, and we hope that we don't have to use your services at any point. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much for coming.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Next, we have the meeting minutes from April 16, 2026. Please review them. Comments.
We have,
Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. Public comments.
We have Mr. Wayne Wilson this evening.
Good evening, Mr. Wilson.
Good evening.
You step up to the podium if you'd like.
Podium, I'm gonna, this is just gonna be very, very brief.
Well, thank you for coming tonight.
You're very welcome. I'm here tonight in regards to new business points A and B, and ordinance number 26 and ordinance number 26-25. I own adjacent properties to 201 Keys. I own 251 Keys, so that 201 is right there. I fully support the recommendations of planning and zoning regarding the approval of the rezoning map and the special use permits that they would not approve. So I would be appreciative if you upheld their findings. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else has signed up to speak?
Nope, that's it for this evening.
All right, thank you, Ms. Lyons. Keeping me in line as always. All right, next we have the meeting minutes from April 16, 2026. Please review them at this time. We will entertain any changes to the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second. Questions and or comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Cole?
Aye.
Ms. Palestrini? Aye. Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor? Aye. Ms. Jernerbro? Aye. Motion passes 6-0.
Okay, next we have something that we have accounts payable for May 28th, or April 28th, 2026. Please review the accounts payable at this time.
We're doing the May one, not the early.
The early release one for April 28th.
Motion to approve. Second.
Questions, comments?
Why are we doing an early release?
Help me out, Paul. I've never seen one like that.
Yeah, so I'll lean on those lines as well, but generally there's bills that have to be paid before this board meeting, so those were cut early to pay those bills.
Oh.
But it's coming to the board for formal approval of those bills that were paid. The reason why we had that is because the month of April, we had 5 Thursdays, so we didn't have a meeting the following week. We had an extra week of gap, so bills had to be paid before the end of April, and it's coming for formal approval now.
Fair enough. And we've just never seen it, but we've always authorized staff to pay the bills if necessary, and then to be included in that formal. So I've never seen it separated out like that. I appreciate that.
So then, maybe this is a stupid question, we'll have to vote fails for this. And we've already paid the bill.
Now, not that it would. I think that we would have to pull the checks back or cancel checks, and it would be a mess for staff.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you,
Curious.
I think that that's what would have to happen. But we've always authorized staff to continue business as necessary, right? As long as it wasn't. So, I mean, it's always been an understanding of this body that they need to conduct their business, so we don't get late charges and stuff like that, so.
Okay.
Anyhow, any other questions or comments? I will entertain a motion
We
to,
already have.
we do, first and second, okay, yeah, Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Cole?
Aye.
Ms. Palestrini? Aye. Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor? Aye. Ms. Jernerbro? Aye. Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Okay, next is what we normally see, accounts payable for May 7th, 2026. Please review them at this time. I'll entertain a motion for the accounts payable.
So moved.
Second. Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Palestrini? Aye. Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor? Aye. Ms. Jernerbro? Aye. Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Cole?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
You may have noticed that we have a lot of police officers in the room, and that's not necessarily for our protection. Chief Pan?
If it is, we got a problem.
Chief Pan, you want to lead us off?
Sure.
So one of my goals when I came here was to bring the department into modern policing practice and policy, to make sure that everything we're doing was consistent, okay, was transparent, and then to have accountability built into to you and to the community, to be able to stand and confidently say that our policies and our procedures are state of the art. They're best practice, not only locally, regionally, but also across the country. So we have our policies are managed through Lexipol, and Lexipol, the policies that were contained in Lexipol when I came here were by and large up to date and a lot in line with modern police practices, but there was no accountability step in there to ensure that they were completely up to date and that we were following our own policies. That accountability and transparency piece. So I wanted to move for accreditation since I came here. It took a while. I think I mentioned it to Lieutenant Neblock. Actually, at the time, he was a sergeant and he was on light duty, so he was in the office. And I don't think he was too interested in doing it then. But then after he got promoted, he went to oh, there you are.
Thank you.
After he was promoted lieutenant, he went to this Northwestern School of Staff and Command, and when he came back, he says, I think we should get accredited. So I'm sure it was, something that he got some training and some ideas that he got there to say that, hey, this is what we should be doing. So then we moved towards my son's coming in the room. Hi, Tobias.
Come on in.
And my wife, Jen. What's that? Where was I at?
He came back to
So
school.
so when he came, so I decided we wanted to move forward with accreditation. The Illinois Chiefs of Police has an accreditation program called ILEAP, which is the Illinois Law Enforcement Accreditation program.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And so we engaged into that process, and Lieutenant Neblock actually did all the work to get us through to accreditation, and so we found out in January.
January 13th.
Yeah, that's when we had our onsite and went through the inspections and we were successful. So that's why we're here today. So you want to say anything, John?
No, it's a lot of hard work by everybody. It truly is something that, going forward does project a standard that is higher than we had prior. It does keep us accountable. It keeps us transparent to the community, to you guys. And everybody chipped in.
Yep.
So that's it.
We're excited. And then this is Joel Givens from I, and then we'll let him give his.
He's all on my thunder, so I will tell you that I was their on-site assessor. I'm the state coordinator for ID. I started out in Rockford, and my chief came to me and said, we're switching from a national program, Kalita, to ID. I said, I what? He said, you'll get it. Okay, so we started the process and we made it through our process. And so Jeff Hammer was actually the coordinator at that time. He said, and I didn't realize he was baiting me in, but he was. I retired. And so he said, come to 2 or 3 of these with me. And then he said, I'm going to put you on your own. And then all of a sudden he goes to the director and I'm now a state coordinator. So that's a quick story there. I've done about 30 of these. The process is very, very difficult. And what I mean by the process is it's the agency from the mayor down, the leadership saying that we want this agency to be renowned. Okay, we want them to be able to be compliant with federal, state, and local laws. And it's a very difficult thing to open up your department and have somebody come in there and scrutinize every single thing about your agency. They will tell you, I've worked with Chief Pam before. I am a deep diver. I read every single line of the policy. And he would probably tell you, he reached out to me sometimes early in the morning hours, and I came right back to him. He's like, you don't sleep. I said, no, I don't. But I looked at extensive things like the property and evidence, the leadership. I did ride-alongs. Gil was my ride-along person. The things I look at are
basically I generate the report based off of the leadership, how the team leads, how the officers are compliant with their policies, how the evidence is being processed and accountability. I do a segment of the evidence based off of, say, like if they have 40,000 pieces of evidence, I go in there, I may do 50 or 60 different pieces of evidence. That doesn't sound like a lot, but I pull them randomly. So they don't know what I'm pulling, they don't know, and we do reversals and everything like that. When I pull them from the shelf and I actually go to the computer. And what I'm looking for is to make sure that evidence is present and accounted for starters, and it's marked properly, the date, time, the officer, and everything like that. The file review is where it starts though. And that's where Jim was a superstar. This file review was impeccable. Okay. And when I say that, I mean, it was like, I clicked it, it took me to where I needed to go. It defined the standard and show exactly what the department is doing policy wise. It starts right there. And I knew this was going to be a great accreditation for on-site visit for me because the policies were locked, stock, and barrel. All right. Jim is a military member. And I am too. So I knew that he was going to have the policies and everything squared away, and he did. Once I got to on-site, I got a chance to visit a lot of the people in the agency, and then I created a document. The documents are anywhere from 35 to 50 pages long that I create for the agency. It goes to the ILEAD Council. It's a series of chiefs that review everything that I put in the report. I add a lot of pictures to it to support exactly what I saw. And they got approved. All right. And so it is a great honor that I get a chance to present this plaque. Would you like to read what it says, sir?
Sure.
Okay. I could explain it.
It's okay. Yeah, so it's Hampshire Police Department. The Illinois Accreditation Council verifies that the Hampshire Police Department has processes, procedures, and daily routines that achieve the Tier 1 level of Illinois accreditation. This signifies that the department is in compliance with the professional standards of modern law enforcement. Accredited February 13th, 2026. Douglas Payne, Chief of Police, Lieutenant James Neblock, Accreditation Manager. And it's from the Illinois Accreditation Council. So, geez.
I do want to tell you, he says 69 standards. That is about 1,500 to 2,000 different things that have to go into that file review. It's just one standard. I look at administration, I look at operations, training, and basically in those standards, you have to have the standard, you have to have the rules and regulations that apply to that. And so that is a lot of work that he had to do. It's a lot of work on my end because I got to read it and make sure that it complies, but it starts right here. And so I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I also want to mention the officers, and Jim mentioned that it was all a lot of work on everybody's part. It was a lot of work on their part too, and especially Rob Carreno and Sergeant Edwardson as far as the actual process itself. Because Sergeant Edwardson manages our training as far as making sure that everyone is reading the policies in the day we do training bulletins on a regular basis. So they have to go into the system, and that's his job to make sure that he stays on top of that, or that they stay on top of that. That's what getting it done. And then Rob Carreno, our property and evidence is immaculate. It really is. So, and they went through the process together. They both actually do property and evidence, but they went through the process together. So everything in our property and evidence is now audited, relogged, barcoded. So we have a good chain of custody on everything, and it's just in really good shape. So it's a world of difference in that room, and that's really a big part of accreditation is property and evidence, because that's what gets police chiefs, police departments, communities in trouble sometimes. A lot of times it's property and evidence. We want to make sure we're on board with that. So.
And it starts with the officers. It starts with the leadership taking that step, but then the officers have to comply on the street. And so I ask them questions, but I don't do gotcha type questions. I standard things that you do every day. Hey, look, tell me about your force policy. tell me about your chase policy, stuff like that. Gil is a machine. Okay? Them two right there are brilliant because of the training and whatnot. But this is a machine right here. He told me, I mean, I wrote like 3 paragraphs just on you with all the information you gave.
Sorry.
It was great. So I just wanted to commend the department.
You'll talk about it. You know,
I hope they eventually they will want to go tier 2, but that's 181 standards, but we'll see what Chief Payne wants to do.
good to go.
Good to go. Yep.
So let's get pictures.
All right.
Here's Joel, right over here, that's what we do it. Right here.
Oh, you got to get in the picture.
Well, I'll do that, but you, Chief, and I'll take first. And then we'll get everybody in. Each minute, and then I want to take a picture of the plant too. So you can actually. Okay. All right. And great, everybody want to step in? I'm just reading.
Feel which way? I would,
Both,
okay.
so I gotta get them to Gina for facing.
We're doing photo ushers.
We're doing prom picture. Scooch in more? I showered today, so.
Is there ever some space I can say?
What?
Again,
Let's start. Sergeant. Any Colby's and homie dinner. We can start on the phone. Let's go invite these guys without congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, all just doing good.
Good.
Good feelings. Yeah.
Before everybody leaves, I just want to say before everybody leaves, I want to say how proud I am of the Hampshire Police Department and all the officers and sergeants and command staff to put their efforts into this. It's been a long time coming. And it's a really good thing to show the community that we're like growing up and being a real village, right?
You're in the report too.
No, that's probably not good.
It starts with the leadership that he pushed, and the support that he gave to the department is just impact. So.
Well, it takes a village, right? And so it's all of us that are doing the same job and trying to push it, and
Yes, sir.
it's worth it for sure. And we owe it to our community. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for your efforts, guys. You guys are all doing a great job. Now you better go for prom.
That was a bad move. Thank you.
Good access.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Trustee Kelly, I know awesome.
Okay. I'm gonna need your help with the next few. Ready? Go. All right, let's do it. Next on our agenda.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, so, next item, next 2 items, 9A, 9B, I'm gonna back together to the, not same request, but same project. So we have, the approving of rezoning of map amendments from B1 to M1 for 201 Keys Avenue, and then a special use to operate a recycling center at 201 Keys Avenue. I'll just kind of give a brief,
Police officers being candid. Gonna shut the door. We trust him in that office. Nope.
My purse is.
They're not tier 2. Okay, sorry, Mr. Khan, sir.
So Eco Rubber Products is the company that recycles rubber tires, riding, using various applications. The best example that was provided by the petitioner. The petitioner's attorney was for Turkey, where you have those rubber pallets that pop up out of the when you run in. That's the rubber grinding that they create for these tires.
That's
So
good.
they also use that for various applications.
Okay.
It's like the,
Push the button and then push the door. Sorry, no, we're gonna have to do this all over again. There you go. You gotta close it a little bit, but you can't close it all the way.
They're gone.
Oh, they're gone now?
They're gone now.
Good. It's just ceremonial. Okay. Well, can you please start over?
Yeah, I mean, I'm stopping you guys, please, and thank you. Yeah. So Eco Rubber Product, which is doing the business as a petitioner, which is CAM Real Estate Partners on behalf of the property owners, Montana Holdings, are requesting the two zoning entitlements. The first is the rezoning or map amendment from B1 to M1 for 201 Keys Avenue, and the special use permit to operate a recycling center at the subject property of 201 Keys Avenue. Eco Rubber Products, their company recycles rubber tires into rubber grindings using various applications. Best example I can give you is for turf fields where they have the rubber pellets that pop up when you run on them. That's what the rubber grindings are created from the tires. The Planning and Zoning Commission did hold a public hearing on this matter on April 13th, 2026, and recommended denial for the rezoning and the special use by a vote of 4-1. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended denial for these three reasons, including the subject properties close proximity to the village's downtown area, and the property's suitability with the downtown area, and then the village's comprehensive plan, even though it does have it marked as industrial warehouse in the future land use map, it's due to the age of the comprehensive plan, the Planning and Zoning Commission did not find that it was the best document to use as a guiding document. Staff did recommend approval for those reasons because it's historically been used as a industrial manufacturing use. It's Keys Avenue is primarily industrial zoning, and the comprehensive plan does designate it as a future land use map for industrial warehousing type. We did receive a total of 5 public comments. One was prior to the public hearing with the Planning and Zoning Commission, and that's included in the agenda supplement that was shared with the board. There was 4 comments provided during the public hearing at the Planning and Zoning Commission, and I provided a summary of those in the agenda supplement. If you need me to answer any questions on those comments, I can go into more detail, but I summarize the comments in general. But village staff is recommending for the village to consider the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation for denial of the following: the request for rezoning map amendment and request for special use for the operating recycling center. If the village board chooses to approve the special use, staff is recommending 3 conditions of approvals that are built into the ordinance, and those are: the special use shall only apply to CAM Real Estate Partners or Eco Rubber Products and shall not be transferred to a new business. If the use shall cease operation for a period of 6 consecutive months, special use shall be considered null and void, and then all trailers shall be in operable condition and must have valid place and registrations. Just some voting guidelines: if the rezoning or map amendment vote does not pass, there's no need to have the vote on the special use because the special use could only operate in the M1. As far as the number of votes, we checked with those attorneys on this time, and it's a simple majority of 4 votes of the Board of Trustees to pass both items. The petitioner and petitioner's attorneys are here to, if you have any questions for them, I believe they have a presentation they would like to share with the board that was shared with you also prior to the meeting tonight. Hopefully the Dropbox link worked. So I will turn back to President Reed if you have any questions for myself or the petitioner and the petitioner's attorneys.
I just want to say, for the sake of discussion, we will bracket both A and B into one general discussion so that this way we would just discuss this project as a whole. Each vote will be taken independently, unless, of course, the first one doesn't pass, right? But we'll discuss any and all topics having to do with this project at one time. So it's going to be up to the board as to whether or not they want to see the presentation from the petitioner. Or you want to vote on it as it is. So what do you guys feel?
I need to see the presentation.
Okay.
Too.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we have the petitioner here and there's a presentation. So, welcome.
Great, thank you very much.
Oh, you're gonna put it up on the screen?
Yep. And 1 second, please.
And thank you. So I'm Carolyn Schofield here on behalf of Eco Rubber Products. I'll do an introduction while he's playing. Oh, he's got it. So with me today are owners of Eco Rubber Products, Terry and Benham, and as well as attorney Tom Burney. Thank you for allowing us to present. There have been a few changes as we listened to the Planning and Zoning Commission and did include some of their feedback and answer some of their questions within this presentation. So we appreciate the opportunity to present parcel 201 Keys Avenue, the request to rezone from B1 Central Business District to M1 Restricted Industrial District, and the request for special use for recycling center in the M1 district. So I'm going to ask Terry to go over the operations and introduce you to Eco Rubber Products.
Yes. Hi, so my name is Terry. I'm one of the owners of the company. We were established in 2020 and we currently run in Schaumburg, Illinois. And we just looking for a bigger place and just to, I know the word recycling center sounds scary, but believe me, this is totally different than what like a general, like a recycling centers are. And I'm going to show that we're going to show it to you in the presentation.
You should go to the next one with the manufacturer or the beginning of the
There's a
process.
delay, I apologize.
Yeah, that's okay. I know it's a big file, so,
Yeah.
okay.
So our process doesn't include any chemical or heat treatment or anything of that. So basically what we do, we just take the tire, only semi-truck tire. That's very specific for our business. We just grind it to the smaller pieces. We take the metal out of the tires of this chrome rubber, and we have a final product as this fine powder, fine rubber that are used, as was mentioned, in artificial soccer fields. Also, this rubber, all the flooring in the gyms are made from this. Basically, all the gyms. Also, like running tracks for the high schools that are outside, stadiums around the stadium. So that's also our product. So that's what we do. And we have a zero waste. So everything that we have in-house, in the warehouse, everything is reused. So we don't have like zero waste, nothing at all. Because the metal that comes from the tires is being processed to the metal companies, to the steel plants, and the rubber basically from the tires is reused for the rubber tire and for the cycle fields. So that's only two components that we get from the tire, and they are we just move them out. So there is nothing like flying around, no garbage flying around, no, just a clean product that's been shipped out. And
so they will be relocating. They would like to relocate their processing or storage and processing line from Schaumburg. And some of the comments that we had got were concerns of the recycling center, but as though it is classified as a recycling center use, you will see here that this is the extent of the recycling that is done. It's not the typical recycling center. And I thought there'd be sound on this one because we did have video. Does it have sound to it or not?
Sound that won't come through us.
Oh, okay. I apologize because we did do a video with sound to show that it's a low humming because that was some of the concerns from the neighbors as to the sound that was produced. So we did have that. It is all contained internally within the facility, and it is somewhat, you can describe it like a lawn, less than a lawn.
That's just a lawn. And that's pretty much what you see over here is like a 90% of the manufacturing. That's pretty much it. It's not like a huge big machines like bulky machines that runs in the high speed or creating a lot of noise. That's what you saw. That's pretty much like 90% of the lane that the tires are going through.
So we'll continue on. So the request is for.
Yeah, we got questions.
The process itself is the grinding. I wasn't clear as to how it gets ground, if it's like a knife type thing that's cutting it, or how is it?
Yes, so you can put, I don't know, this is.
Yep.
So.
Again, that's the.
You should start, but yeah.
Okay, so that's the beginning of it. Yes.
So what we do, we cut off the sidewalls of the tire, and then the tread itself been cut in 4 pieces, and then it starts going through the machine. And it's just going through the machine a couple times until it gets to that fine powder size that we are.
So in the machine, it's got grinders and gears.
It has like 2 rollers that are just, going one to each other, and then it just, like smashing the tire. And it just, breaking down to the smaller pieces, breaking down until it just gets like a powder.
Mike, my only question is, what kind of dust reclamation do you have in this?
We have all the permits from the EPA.
Right, but I mean, is there any dust going out?
No. We have no dust because we have the permit, air pollution permit from the state. and it's a zero pollution. And we just have it, so the people from the state came to us to inspect our spot, our place. And they gave us the permit saying that there is like no air pollution to the environment. And they just gave us that permit and we just have to renew it every year.
Okay.
So we just pay a minimum fee of 250, I believe, a year, and that's it. So we have also we have a land permit, and we have the tire permit. So we have all the permits from the state that requires this type of business. So everything is under the permit.
Can you tell me what the decibel level of the machine is when it's running? Like how loud the machine is?
It's so as a comparison, it has less than 90 decibels, but it's like lower. The sound is lower than lawnmower. And like before, we were saying that anyone can come to us and just to hear it, so that it's not loud. Because if you're staying outside, you can't even hear what's going on inside. Because this type of machines, there's not a lot of people who are actually doing this type of thing in the United States. And this type of machines are specifically designed only for this type of business, to make it like a chrome rubber, because there is a different businesses that run these machines, the bigger machines, and they cut the bigger tires and they just landfill it. They make it like a little bit smaller pieces, because you can just landfill the whole tire and they just landfill it. And this is totally different type of business and totally different type of machines that are manufactured specifically to make it fine product. So it's not a lot of noise, because it doesn't need such a huge power or such a huge improvements to the machine to cut it into big pieces. So that's why we cut it smaller. We cut the sidewalls. We cut the tread into 4 pieces, just for the machine to make it easier and faster and more efficient. Let's put it that way.
How many tires are put into, I mean, is it a huge drum? Is it holds 3 tires, it holds 100 tires when it's grinding?
When it's grinding, it holds 3 pieces of 1 tread, so not even the whole tire.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have like so the whole the drums that actually the open space for the drums, you would say probably a few of these pieces.
Okay.
It's like very small, because you can't put a lot, because just because it's making such a fine powder, you can't put a lot, because it's just gonna jam it up and you will not be able to run it through. Yeah, so you can't put it like too much into it.
So as you can see here, it is the location in blue there. It is located east of State Street, north of the railroad tracks. And we are requesting again the rezoning from B1 to M1, and then a special use for that recycling center in the M1 district. And here is the map amendment for the rezoning. This shows the existing zoning, which is currently B1 Central Business District, and you can see the surrounding properties are a mix of zoning classifications, including B3 Service Business District to the west along State Street, B1 Central Business District to the north, and M1 Restricted Industrial District to the north and to the west, which would be consistent to the requested zoning. Examples of that current B1 zoning permissible uses by right would include things such as automobile service stations, machinery and appliance repairs, public garages, and you can see also some of the examples here that would be permitted by right currently in that B1 district. And the current B1 zoning permissible, up here, didn't I? So this is just showing the current B1 zoning. My goodness, I'm sorry. I don't know. The property has been for sale and on the market for 4 years. Currently, one of the buildings is leased for filtration company for storage of filters. The other building is in disrepair and has been vacant for 4 years. And prior to that, the buildings were occupied by a pet food company for the manufacture and storage of pets. So Eco Rubber is requesting M1 light industrial zoning, and M1 includes things such as light machinery, building material storage, and sporting goods manufacturing. And the current and previous uses are similar to the uses allowable by right in the M1 light industrial in the more intense M2 general industrial districts. So the rezoning of this parcel to M1 would not only allow for Eco Rubber products to use this facility for their use, but it would align with the current and past uses of the building, as well as the building located immediately adjacent to the west and on the lot line. Here is your existing use map and also the future comprehensive plan. And in this, both the future and current plan, this area is listed as industrial and warehouse distribution, and the request for rezoning and special use is consistent with that industrial and warehouse use, including across the street, there's a large-scale industrial manufacturing facility just north of this parcel. You can see that whole area on purple. So one of the things that we heard from the Planning and Zoning Commission was the concern for the investment into the facade improvement program. So here you can see the property is located adjacent to one of the parcels in that program, and it is separated by the railroad tracks to another area within that program. So Eco Rubber Products values the investment that you have made into this program, and they would like to invest in the community as well. Approval of the petition would allow Eco Rubber Products to move both their storage and process production operations to Hampshire. They are committed to investing approximately $400,000 into this property. And included in those investments are improvements include cleaning up and planting of landscaping around the perimeter of the property. You can see some examples here. Oh, sorry. So of the current condition, and they've had initial conversations with the neighboring property owner to coordinate landscaping plans. Next one is a significant investment will be made to replace the roof on the barn in that building that has been vacant for 4 years. So they would like to replace that roof and put it into operable condition. Other building improvements will be made, and those may include things such as removal of the overhead door that you see here and conversion into an office space, repair of damaged sidings, and repair to concrete on the property. Additional perimeter repairs will be the fencing, which is currently damaged and fallen. All of these improvements will be a benefit to the neighborhood. So with the significant investment in the improvements of the property will come an increase in property value and additional property taxes to the village. Eco Rubber Products wants to be part of the community through engaging in community events and local organizations. The site will be used by Eco Rubber Products operations for tires to be stored, then processed into crumb rubber, as was previously mentioned. Tires will be stored either inside the building up to a height of 10 feet or in trailers located in the lot along the west side of the building. And you can see those locations here on that photo. There will be no outside storage. Also of note that we heard at the Planning and Zoning Commission was concern for traffic onto State Street. So all of the truck traffic accessing the site will be directed to avoid State Street. Next one.
Next one, Mo.
This is inside the building. A general layout, as you can see here, is meant to optimize production. So tires will come in via the dock. They will be stored adjacent to the processing line. The processing line will be located across the bottom there, and then crumb rubber storage will be in those areas in green. Along with the request for rezoning from B1 to M1 is the request for special use in the M1 district for a recycling center. The recycling classification is for the tire processing, as previously mentioned. There will be no mechanical. There will be one mechanical processing line, which you saw in the video, and the process does not involve any chemicals or noxious odors, and it is a zero waste process.
Also, oh, sorry, can you turn back? I just want to add a little bit. So as you can see, this is the final product in the bags, and it's already loaded in the trailer to be shipped out. So as you can see, all the bags are, nice and clean white with the black rubbers inside. So it's a clean product and the clean business. So it's not a lot of dirt. So basically what you see right now, it's like, this is how it looks like, and this is how it's going to be shipped and how it's stored. So there is nothing flying around.
You said you take the steel out of the tire?
Uh-huh.
What do you do with the steel?
We have a company that we're working with right now. They just come and take it out.
Goes to junk scrap.
Yes.
Eco Rubber Products has satisfied all the findings of fact for both the request for map amendment to rezone from B1 to M1, as well as special use for recycling center in the M1 district. Members of the Planning and Zoning Commission made no comments to dispute that the applicable standards have been met. Village staff recommended approval of the request at that meeting for rezoning from B1 to M1 and the request for special use to allow for a recycling center in the M1 district with conditions of approval. Eco Rubber Products agrees to all the conditions of approval outlined in the staff recommendations. Finally, I want to thank you for your attention and consideration, and we respectfully request approval of Eco Rubber Products' request for a map amendment to rezone the property along Keys Avenue from B1 to M1 and a special use to allow for a recycling center in the M1 district. So thank you, and we're happy to answer any more questions.
Yeah, so one thing, the findings of fact statement was a statement by an advocate to the board. That is not a legal conclusion of that issue. That is their position relative to the issue. Would you agree with that or no?
Mr. Russell, I think we believe that
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Burney.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You guys remember Tom Burney?
Yep.
It was a little more crowded the last time we did.
Bigger room.
Yeah, maybe we misunderstood Mo, but we thought that he agreed with our findings of fact. And maybe we can clarify that.
Staff provided their own findings of facts.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So the signing of the fact that there was a statement by an advocate to
Yes.
forward a position. That is not the legal conclusion or consensus of staff and the advocate. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, that's what their position is, that they have satisfied everything. I just want to make sure we're clear. And then one other small question. The listing of permissible uses, that is the code, that is not examples of other permissible uses that are currently going on in that zoning district in the village, correct? That is the language from the code, not like next door is this and next door is that. I just want to make sure we're clear going forward. Obviously, we all vote our conscience and everything like that, but I want to make sure we're clear on those 2 points from the excellent, however we vote, but it was obviously they put a lot of time into that presentation.
My only question is, plant zoning shot it down 4-1?
Yes.
There's no noise. There's no smoke or steam blowing out of the roof onto the neighbors. It's a quiet, clean product being hauled away. Why did they vote no?
So the Planning and Zoning Commission found that the location to the downtown area is suitability with the downtown area, and then also the comprehensive plan, the future land use map, because of how old our comprehensive plan is, it shouldn't be used as the guiding document.
But they were okay with the fact that it was a dog bone place prior to that cooked and used bleach to bleach rawhide white.
Hold on, I don't know if they were using bleach in there or what was going on when they were
To
making.
Trustee Coe's point, when they were cooking the rawhide and the wind was blowing.
And the planning and zoning was okay with that?
Well, hold on, I just want to say one thing, and I'm not taking a position. It is a different planning and zoning board at that point in time. And to be honest with you, and maybe Mr. Burney knows, he is an esteemed zoning lawyer. I don't know if they went through planning and zoning. I don't know if it was like, hey, here's the dog food guy.
They were there for decades.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There may not have been a formal zoning code before that dog food plant came in. So before we go through there, the advocate's point is well taken, that these are the prior uses. It's a fact. It's just like the sky's blue. The opposite side of that is, I don't know what procedures went through in Hampshire prior to 2022, to be honest with you, but, so I just want to make sure we're clear on that, but they're correct. I get your point. I want to make sure that other step is on there. That there's not like what we would call an estoppel, that, yeah, you guys said this was okay, so why wouldn't that be okay?
So there's no smoke coming out. There's no pollution blowing out of the roof. They have a clean product that gets shipped out.
How much heat is generated?
Can't be a lot, otherwise the rubber will melt and they won't be able to grind it.
And that's the reason why we're working with the specifically semi-truck tires, because the rubber is more tougher and it's just not so hard it's not so easy to, heat and flame or whatever, any possible options. So that's why we specifically work only with the semi-truck tires, because they don't have anything else except metal and rubber.
So are you suggesting that the ignition temperature for those tires is higher?
For the car tires. Because in the car tires, you don't have metal, you have like a nylon.
Right.
And that's the reason, but it's
So
not
the
the case in this.
tires would have a higher ignition point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm,
just clarify.
mhm.
We do have a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission here. If you are willing or able to share your opinion or why you voted the way you did, Ms. Duhai is here.
I'd just like to ask, did you guys discuss what Pet Ag did prior to these people? What they did in that building prior for decades?
Yeah, if I can take that first go. So there was in the Planning Zoning Commission agenda supplement a blurb about prior use, and that's one of the reasons why staff had recommended approval, because the use has been industrial manufacturing historically for this property. So there was a section in the agenda supplement to the Planning and Zoning Commission talking about the historical use.
So with the previous owner blowing obnoxious fumes out of the roof and a new company coming in blowing nothing, why did the Planning and Zoning shoot it down for what?
I can speak to my opinion. When I heard your guys's, and I know your presentation has evolved since, we had our meeting.
Would you like to take the stand here?
You're fine.
Yeah, you guys
You can do whatever you want.
So,
I appreciate you coming. Sorry to put you on this.
you're okay. So my analysis of it was looking forward, not necessarily looking retroactively. I see a lot of development happening on the north side of the tracks along State Street. And activating that side of State Street is something that, when we've been contemplating, we have this old document about where Hampshire was going back in 2004. That isn't where we're going today. So that's how we considered, or at least that's how I considered, the zoning change for that specific property and how that is looking forward into the future of Hampshire. When it came to the special use provision, again, I was looking at specifically this special use. High pile storage, especially when it comes to rubber, is something that has me concerned, as I'm a structural engineer. So as an engineer, it's a high hazard storage right next to residential, right next to our downtown. That's something that had me very concerned.
Now, you guys didn't mention anything about high piled storage.
That's why I raised my hand. I would like to speak to that. May I?
Hold on. Mr. Brody, do you have any questions for the person who just gave testimony?
Well, only you didn't vote, is that correct?
I did.
Do what you
It's like,
You're here to keep.
I didn't see that you voted. I thought it was 4-1, and weren't there 6 people on the commission?
Chairwoman Klein doesn't vote unless there's a tie.
Aren't you the oh, you're not the chairman?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Ernie, ladies,
It's okay.
game.
I knew who she was.
Okay, all right. So I don't have any questions.
Okay, I just want to give you guys the
It's a
opportunity.
very honest, plan commission. They, we just feel that it checked all the boxes in terms of what, plan commission and a village board. Yeah.
I want to get to his question.
Thank you, Mr. Hack.
About the piles, so, the bags can be double stacked. So they all needs to be floor loaded back next to each other because of the weight, and the bag is too wide. If you put another one on top of it, it's just gonna.
So you can have piles of tires outside before you grind them?
No, and the reason why, because if the tires will get wet and will get water inside, it's gonna damage the final product because it's gonna run a lot of water through the machine, and it's not good for the rubber. So there will be no storage outside because I don't want to take the risk with rain or whatever. Plus, we have a lot of storage. It's a huge 3 buildings. It's like 60 something thousand square foot. And that's plenty of room for us. And we have only 5 people working together with me and my partner. So it's not like a huge business that we're gonna just take over the whole place and it's just gonna be piles and piles. Rubber can be stored in piles. It needs to be stored in bags because the way it comes from the machine, it comes into the bags. It's not coming to the piles and then you take like a front loader and then you put it in the bag. So it's not, it doesn't work like that. So you put it in the bags. You take this bag when it's full, you put it on the side, you put the next one next to it. When the truck comes, you load it, and you load the truck, and that's it. So there is no piles at all. For the tires, you can go high because that's the physical, I would say, potential hazard for the employees. Because if you're gonna start piling tires high, and if the employee needs to take the tire for the processing, it can just fall over, and we can't do that. It's just too unsafe. So the tires goes like 9 or 10 tires high. So it's like 9 feet, less than 9 feet, something like that. Just wanted to add to that.
And as far as outside storage, if I could add that in this district, it's not allowed. That's why they just be, it's not allowed in the zoning district.
I have questions about that. I've been trying to get my voice out there. The mention of these stacks of tires, that is a concern because where are these going to be? Because you said they're not going to be outside. Where are they going to be? In your drawing, you had them coming in, and you also mentioned that they
I'm just
in trailers. But then I saw your Facebook posts and videos and photos, and so they're stacked really high and they're outside.
That's why we need more place
Are they
because
going to be?
it's a lot in Schaumburg. We can use it in Schaumburg outside, but they are coming in inside. But if you can pull up the, I'm just going to explain you what. 18.
You have enough square footage inside here to store the tires inside.
Yes, because
not outside.
Because right now we operate on the 6,200 square foot. That's just super small. And this one is way bigger, so we just don't need it. We don't need to go high. We don't need to outside. We have everything inside. So that's the 2 loading docks that we have over here. So if the tire is gonna come in over here, so this is gonna be the tire storage right close to the processing lane.
That's inside the building.
Oh yeah, that's the inside of the building. Yeah, this is building number 1, building number 2, and this is the building number 3, the barn that actually needs the new roof over there. So when the tires are coming in over here, so that's where they're going to be stored, and that's going to be where the line's going to start. So that's going to start the process of the processing tires, and then in the end over here you have the final product in the bags. So when you have a final product in the bags, so we have 2 options for storage. So right now we're going to have only 1 option because this building is operatable. This one obviously not. So the crown rubber is going to be stored over here. And then when the truck's gonna back up to get loaded to ship it out, then you just take those bags from here and load it into the truck. And then this is like when roof's gonna be fixed, this is gonna be the secondary storage. But I'm not sure if we will need this all the way because this product, as soon as we have a load ready, we start to order the truck and ship it out because our customer need it. So it's not like it's going to be piles of rubber everywhere, as mentioned, or the bags of rubber, because our customer need it, and when it's done, it's shipped. So I'm not sure that if even going to use the whole storage, but we have it. It's good to have it.
Can you go back to the one where you had the truck and trailer parking? Like hands drawn right there.
On this one, yes.
Explain what the trailers would be doing there.
So this trailer's going to be used to ship out the rubber. This is our trailers, and also this trailer's gonna when we take tires from the customer.
Mhm.
So we need to bring them also in the closed space. We can't just, bring them on a flatbed or something like that. So the tire's gonna come in the trailer, and sometimes we're gonna use it over here to put it on the dock to unload, to process in the facility.
Looking at that, can you explain how the fire department will access the property? If there are trailers there?
So this is the access number one. On other side, can you come back to the other one? So this is those 3 trailers over here, basically. So this is the access number one. This is number 2.
Yes.
And this one, because the way it's pictured on the previous one, because there was not a lot of room to. Can you switch it more to this one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was drawn like that because it was a little bit harder. But basically, those 2 trailers gonna take like here. So you have like almost half of the space gonna be open if you need to access to this building, because the way I couldn't draw better. I'm sorry.
My concern is at the street entrance, like how.
Yeah. So this is gonna be entrance number 1, and the other side is gonna be entrance number 2, where the loading docks are. So there's going to be 2. That's only 2 possible entries that you have, and they are both open. We're not blocking any of those.
My concern is, can our trucks make that turn? Because that's a very tight, narrow space. And I watched a set and I try to.
Yeah, but even the other side.
So if I'm concerned about that.
Can you?
So the fire district did not weigh in on this. They typically don't on zoning matters. As far as whether they can maneuver it, it's an existing property. So,
I don't have an existing property, but this would be a new use, and rubber is highly flammable. So if, God forbid, something did go wrong, it is directly behind the fire department, which is amazing, but then our trucks can't get there. What if there is a train that is blocking? We can't just say, oh, excuse me, train, can you let us through real quick? We got a fire over here. And rubber fires are incredibly toxic and very difficult to put out. I mean, throw the Simpsons out here, but how long has that tire fire been going? How many seasons has that been happening? And I don't necessarily need that next to 4 houses. That is really concerning for me.
Terry, can you comment on the fire hazard?
Yes, so as I mentioned, so that's why we work only with the specific tires only. So that's a little bit different. And the way the machine runs, there is no possible structural mechanism in the machine that can put the tire on fire. Because for the rubber to get on fire, you need those nylon material that goes in the car tires. That is highly flammable, and that's where all the fire starts, from the car tires. Even in The Simpsons, there's a car tire fire. It's not a semi-truck tire fire. So that's also one.
He came prepared.
He got you.
I can't believe that this is more flammable than bleaching dog bones and cooking.
That's the past. That's done and it's gone.
But the fire department had no problem with that.
Well, we have new people in the
But
fire department and
we
bigger
don't-
engines.
We
So
don't know if the fire,
Right.
I don't mean to be.
that's we are not in charge of the past. We are in charge of the future. And that is why we were elected to sit here and ask questions.
So, Terry, will you agree to vet this plan if it's approved with the fire department and take their recommendations on access?
Of course, yes.
What would be your operating hours?
Regular hours is 7
What
to
is
5.
regular?
7 to 5?
7 to 5. Okay, Monday through Friday?
Oh, yes.
No Saturday hours?
If it's possible, we would like to have at least from 9 to 12, 9 to 1, like a half day.
Okay. And you said about 85 to 90 decibels?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And will you have any of your loading bays, et cetera, open for any considerable amount of time? Other than when you're actively loading and unloading?
No, no noise.
Okay. So the noise would be relatively.
And we also, by the picture that we put was if you can the plan of the buildings, if you can.
You're really pushing your luck, Terry.
I just want it there.
That's important because I want to show something that is important about the sound. Just to, 18 again.
This one?
No, the next one, I believe.
What is it, the site plan, the interior site plan?
The interior,
Yeah, he's got
What's
it.
going up? It'll take a second.
Anticipation.
So it's at the other side.
They said.
So this is over here, you have the rail tracks, right? Over here on the bottom going.
Yeah.
And that the Keys Avenue. So we also, just to double check, triple check, just to make sure. So we're trying to put our lane as far as we can from the streets. So it's gonna be only like basically the rain track. So we're not putting over here in the front, or it's gonna be closer to our neighbors. We're trying to put it as far as we can to the building. So it's gonna be as close as possible to the rails. So the rail track, so there's gonna be, like extra space inside for the noise just to go out. Just for this reason.
Is the 85 decibels inside the building or is that outside the building?
That's the machine produced.
On the inside?
On the inside, yeah.
Okay. And then truck traffic, is that going to be within business hours or is
Yes.
that going to be outside of it?
No, because the trucks are only coming to load and unload.
Right, I didn't know if 9 o'clock at night we're gonna, okay.
No. And also, the Keys Avenue, if you can, next one. Yeah, so the Keys Avenue, and you probably know that going east, there's gonna be like a special, like a truck road going to the, next to the police station and go out. So we don't even need to go left to the State Street. There is no reason at all. And also why? Because for the trucks, it's easier to back up from the left shoulder because he can see everything. So because if the truck is coming from this side, he will have to back up from the blind spot, and it's just not good. So that's also important. So if the trucks are coming from this side, not from this side, because it's going to be a little bit more safer for the driver, to back up.
What's the frequency of the trucks coming in? I mean, are we looking at, are these huge semi trucks? Are these small ones?
Yeah, it's the small ones. And so the semi truck, the huge one's gonna come probably 3 times a week.
A week.
A week,
Okay.
yes.
And they're bringing in the tires.
Or bringing in the tires or taking out the rubber.
Okay.
So either or, so.
So, yeah, so it's not like there's 5 trucks a day
Oh.
coming in and out or 10. It's
No, on the regular basis, because we have the smaller trucks, like the straight trucks, those guys are working on a daily basis. So they're gonna be, once a day.
Counselor?
Yeah, a couple questions. We are not the fire standards board, but we can inquire, or the planning commission, zoning board of appeals, of which we have great members. And this body can ask about health, safety, and welfare. I want to make sure, like, what is the fire suppression? Because that seems to be something that the board has a lot of concerns about. And so I'll bifurcate this. One, again, it would go through review at the fire district level, I think the Bernie will tell you. But if this did go through in the plan, on the special use permit, I assume there would be a condition that would be agreeable to all parties. If it did go through, I'm not saying it should or shouldn't, that there would be a rigorous, and I don't know how we would wordsmith this, but there would be a fire inspection and there would be a fire plan that would be given not only to the fire district, but also to the police department as the first responders on the scene. I assume that that's a.
Terry, you totally share that concern.
Yes, yeah, of course. And we run in this business for 6 years. We have 0 accidents on our side, so we don't have any fire going on. And chief of fire department is coming to our facility in Schaumburg to check it. So we have this is not something that I'm first time hearing, so I'm okay with that.
And so and there are no pending citations with regards to fire or safety at your Schaumburg location, is that correct?
No citations.
Okay. You're not under oath, but I'm sure you're not lying. You have a great advocate.
We just need a bigger place.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the board?
I have another question for Ms. Duvai regarding, can she
She can ask whatever she wants to, but because we are doing this as a bifurcated hearing, Mr. Bernie and his colleague have the right to ask any questions and follow up.
Okay.
Just like a cross-examination in an adversarial proceeding or a quasi trial.
Okay. Awesome. I've read the summaries of the public comments from your meeting. Could you expound upon those so I understand the concerns listed a little bit better? One says Mr. Schlitz stated he's concerned about the location of the business and its proximity to the village's downtown area.
Yeah, during the meeting, we had a few community members who were neighbors, to some extent, both directly adjacent and across the street a little bit, who expressed concerns, about having such a facility right in their backyard.
Thank you. Another one says Ms. Johnson is concerned about the odors and noise created by the business. And is Ms. Johnson one of the residents of the homes that is directly inside the, where the four?
Just, can I take this one?
Absolutely.
Ms. Johnson, she was on the south side of the tracks.
Okay,
So
so she is still,
considered adjacent.
Yes.
Because it's
Yes.
a right of way, but south side of the tracks.
okay,
On Washington Avenue, I believe.
okay, thank you. Is Mr. Wilson, this Mr. Wilson? Okay, thank you. We've heard from you. And then is it Mr. Braze? I could not.
Yeah,
Why
please pronounce his
question
name.
previous uses of the building, but what was the,
He had questions about what the building was used prior to
okay,
its current use.
okay,
So he didn't really have a comment, it was more of a question, but it was still provided during public hearing, so I thought it should be included.
I appreciate that, thank you. Were the concerns of the residents addressed during the PNC meeting?
As in, were they acknowledged and part of the discussion?
Yes.
Like the one lady had concerns about the odor, where they addressed that it's gonna be odorless.
That was part of their presentation. And I know the adjacency was discussed by the Planning and Zoning Commission members during our open discussion as well.
Did the commission agree with the petitioner's statement that it would be within the noise and odor that we would want for that area? Based on the vote, I'm struggling with, here's the vote, and then here are these very nice things being said, and there's something missing, and I don't know what it is. So
my perception of how the deliberations went, I believe first it was the rezoning, we broke the vote into two. So we talked about the rezoning first, and we did not agree with the rezoning from, I believe it's a business district to industrial district with the adjacency to State Street.
Okay.
So that was the first part. The second part on the special use, we were, again, looking at the health and safety of the area, potential impacts, as it relates to the special use specifically. And, there were a few of us who were very concerned about the potential fire hazard associated specifically with the special use and how a high hazard storage, could impact the adjacent properties and in general.
Okay.
Yeah. And I say high hazard as defined by the NFPA, National Fire Protection Agency. I do think we have multiple folks on planning and zoning with a different background than some other folks. So the engineers and fire protection professionals, that might have been something that definitely weighed heavy.
Okay. Thank you.
I asked the lady,
You have the absolute right.
did anybody in the plan commission's deliberations mention that this was gonna be too noisy?
I don't believe the plan commission did, no. The community definitely expressed concerns though.
Okay, so the findings and when you got to the vote, it was really the impact on the development, future development of downtown. Is that correct in terms of this redeveloping this property? Is that any, I guess I have a problem because you were one vote and you've been asked here to interpret.
To be clear, she was not asked, she came as a member of the public and we called her.
No. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm just saying that the questioning has led her to interpret what other members of the planning commission.
But she's been very clear in her statement that this is how she perceived it to be as her own perception.
Good, as long as you get, okay, that's all I need to do.
She's been very clear, she's been very clear, she's not speaking for the planning commission, she's speaking for her portion.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We understood that, so,
Your Schaumburg property, are you currently storing tires outside?
Yes.
Okay. So is that due to lack of space?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it creates more problem for us because we have to, every time the cars coming in, we have to take the water out if there was a rain.
Okay.
Manually from every time.
And you're just, you're, for lack of a better, you're over by Top Golf and the toll road. Okay. The old motor road.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Am I correct in, oh, yes, please.
Sorry, Mr. Kelly.
Please.
Thank you for jumping in.
Trustee.
No,
No, go ahead,
please.
trustee Fodor. I'll wait. No,
Nope,
please.
you go right ahead. Go.
Just focus.
I got all the time.
I have I have a couple of questions, and apologies I can't be there in person. Thanks for letting me attend remotely. Well, the first one for Mr. Khan. In the ordinance and in the application, it lists 201 Keys Avenue, correct?
Correct.
When I look on Google Maps, it shows different addresses for two of the three buildings. It shows 233 and 231. 201 is the big barn, and then the large white roofed facility next to the barn one that I think the petitioner saying the roof would need to be replaced. 231 is the small, what looks like it may be, I don't know if it's a little building or office space. And then 233 is the rectangular building that is longer north-south than wide east-west. Are those different addresses?
So the legal address for this parcel is 201 Keys Avenue. I believe the other addresses are for like shipping purposes, so like which dock to go to or which door to go to, but they're not the legal address for the property.
Okay, so all of those buildings are considered part of the one legal address.
Correct.
Okay. And I think this is something we've talked about in other board meetings, and I appreciate that the maps show one thing. We do have buildings around there that, as the zoning map and the gentleman in his presentation rightfully showed, are listed as B1 district, but they are actually residential uses currently, which I believe that's 191, 187, and then I think also 247 and 251, which are right next to this property. And those last two are actually right in front of the facility that would be doing the manufacturing. So there are 4 residents, at least I believe. I may be remembering off the top of my head wrong and reading the map wrong, but I believe there are 4 residents there. So I'm just stating that, having looked at the map. Now, I've done just very rudimentary research. I am not an expert in any of this area, but I like to come somewhat informed, or at least try to. For the petitioner, you've said multiple times that it's a pretty quiet, what I've heard tonight, it's a pretty quiet manufacturing facility at 90 decibels, which is about the same as a lawnmower or similar type equipment, correct?
Yes.
Was that measured? Like, did you use sound equipment to know that it's only at 90 decibels?
We receive all the paperwork. When you purchase in the equipment, they give you all the standards of
So that came from the equipment paperwork then?
Yes.
Okay, and the only reason why I bring that up, and again, I'm not an expert or nor do I pretend to be in this area, but according to OSHA regulations, 90 decibels is the permissible exposure limit for an 8-hour shift, meaning it's the legal limit that you can have. And that if employees aren't wearing ear protection or earplugs, then it can lead to severe hearing loss. Am I correct in that? Is 90 decibels the max for?
Oh yeah, that's the max.
Exposure limit. So you really can't go any louder than that, correct? Without special permits.
there is no other machines that can go louder than that. So basically that's what we have and that's the max that it can produce. So that's the.
But and that's what I'm trying to get at is that these machines, while I appreciate you saying they're quiet like a lawnmower, they're actually at the max level that they can be for noise.
Yeah, that's the max level. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then there's been, and I'm making an assumption, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing you haven't tested to see how sound would travel through that, what I would assume is a pretty old building.
No, we don't have that.
Is that cinder block walls?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so would there be any soundproofing done on the inside to help minimize sound bleed through the walls?
Yeah, if that's something that we need to do, yeah, we can do that. Yes.
Is it something you do in your Schaumburg location?
No, we don't need to because there is no sound going outside. We have a brick building over there, and there is like, you can't even if you go in on the sidewalk next to the building, you don't even know what's going on inside the building because you don't hear it.
Okay, I appreciate that. And then Trustee Koth had asked a question, and while I appreciate your response, I don't know that his question was answered, and he asked a specific question around what is the dust remediation system, or is there a dust remediation system in there? And I understand you said you have all the EPA certifications and the licenses from the state, but that's not, I mean, those are licenses and certifications. They're not a remediation system. So is there any mechanical remediation system that you have in there to ensure that the exhaust from the manufacturing process, and while I appreciate you're saying it's clean, it's still rubber being ground down, there is going to be some particulates that are exposed because of that. Is there a remediation system in there?
No, we don't have it right now because we don't need to, because yeah, it's a rubber, it's not like a sterilized place, yeah, because this is anyways recycling, but it's just we don't need it. We just don't need it because we don't have that dust and nothing going out, because we don't have any wind that blows or something that it just. There is no reason right now. There is no reason to put anything in that because there is nothing like flying in the air.
Okay, appreciate that. And one final question, and this is based on what you're currently doing at the Schaumburg, or I'm sorry, I have two final questions. One, based on what you're doing at the Schaumburg location, to what Trustee Fodor was talking about, I did just some quick search, and stockpiles of rubber crumb are susceptible to self-heating and spontaneous combustion. So with that, is there anything that you've had to do with the local fire departments in Schaumburg regarding the storing of the rubber crumb, the tires, the manufacturing itself? Have you had to go through any checks? And if so, what have you had to do with that current fire department?
So as I mentioned, the fire marshal comes every quarter to check our place, and everything is in order, and we didn't add anything. So we purchased the building and we moved as is. Everything was in order, and the fire marshal and the police department, the fire marshal, everybody approved our type of business, and we didn't add anything. Everything stayed the same.
Thank you. And my final question is, part of your design showed part of the building being turned into offices. Is this considered your corporate headquarters as well? And are your sales taking place out of this building as well? So your contracts and everything would list this address, or do you have a different corporate address?
That's what we're planning to do. We were hoping that we will get approved, and Hampshire is going to become our corporate. Yes.
Okay, so all of your manufacturing, your distribution, your sales, your corporate office would all have that Hampshire address.
Yes. Yes.
Understood. Okay, thank you very much for answering the questions.
President, can I? Absolutely. Thank you. Two questions. Mr. Bernie actually may be involved in this one. When you say the fire marshal, do you mean the office of the state fire marshal or the fire chief from Schaumburg?
Fire chief from Schaumburg.
And I just want to make sure that's two different bodies. Mr. Kelly, obviously I'm not cross-examining a trustee, but are you asking for him to do the sound study and that other study prior to you casting a vote on that? Or are you asking for that after the fact as a condition? You mentioned an indoor to outdoor sound study, and obviously you need the machine in there, but I think we all know what you were getting at. Are you asking that for an issue prior to casting a vote under the auspices of the health, safety, and welfare of the community, including those surrounding neighborhoods, which is the most important thing for a rezoning? Or are you saying that gets done afterwards? I hope I'm being clear with my question, and I hope Mr. Bernie understands my question, to be honest with you. Like, are you asking for it now or later? In plain English.
I appreciate your question, and I always welcome your cross-examination, sir.
Yeah.
I would, for me, I asked the question to help inform what my potential vote would be this evening, as if there was a proactive study done to ensure that the statements being said as a part of the application are in fact founded with actual research or testing, that there would not be sound bleed or sound impediments to the 4 homes that immediately are adjacent to that property, especially the 2 that are directly in front of the building that would be having the manufacturing. And so I asked the question, I hope this answers what you were asking, but I asked to help inform my potential vote so that I can understand what the facts of a study would be, rather than and no offense, sir, but rather than just going on what the presentation is saying that it would be. I have not visited the Schaumburg facility. I do not. I'm not saying I don't believe that you can't hear it outside, but there is nothing there in the answer. There has been no testing or no evidence to show that indeed the local homes would not be impacted by what OSHA says is the maximum about allowable limit for noise.
And just for a point of clarification, you are not at their Schaumburg facility right now. That's correct. Please.
I am not. I am currently traveling for work, and I'm not even in the state of Illinois.
And then on a more serious note, so you would rather have a study before you casted a vote?
Correct. I would have rather been able to have the evidence, whether from an independent party or just as we've done. I mean, I'm going to go back to another one that we discussed, and I may be remembering it wrong. So for anybody that watches this on the record, if I get it wrong, I apologize. But when we discussed a cross-dock terminal that was near residential facility, we had light poles that were going up in there, and we asked about light bleed, and there was actual documentation of what the spread of light for that facility was going to be, so that we knew that while they said it was going to be okay, we had documentation to provide that indeed the type of lighting they were doing was not going to bleed out past what they had said it was going to. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfect question. That's a great analogy to what they're talking about today.
Mr. President.
I have a question. How many decibels does the machine,
If the running full, not more than 90.
90? I just looked it up. A vacuum cleaner is 80.
Yeah, that's true.
But you don't run a vacuum cleaner 8 hours a day.
Right.
Well, right, but if 90's inside, if 90's inside a building, how much is going to bleed outside?
Well, I think that was, I can't.
Mr. Coates, 90 decibels is 10 times louder than 80 decibels. It's not a 1 point, like a 1 time up. It's actually a factor of 10.
Right.
So would the gentleman accept that, because I think we've done this before, because if the sound is bleeding to a point where it could be impacting the residential uses in the area, there are soundproofing systems that can be installed in the building. And would the gentleman accept a condition that we will conduct those sound studies, and we will take, after staff reviews it or an expert that the village hires, and implement the sound system, basically dampening to address whatever could be the issue.
I think that we could take that under consideration as the board deliberates a decision, like if it goes either way, because we can set the terms of that. So as long as you're open to that, we can put a pin in it and we can revisit that in the rest of this conversation.
Yeah.
Let's continue with the board's deliberation. Any board members have any additional questions?
Trustee Kelly, I'm going to ask you again because you're remote. I don't want to make you feel left out.
Oh, no, sir. Thank you for allowing me to ask those questions.
Please pipe up as we continue the rest of the business because we tend to forget that you're here without you being present. So for that, I apologize. Board members, any other questions about or to the petitioner or about this project?
I have one, you talked about all the upgrades and the improvements that you're gonna do on the property, which sounds great to me. What I'm asking is how long do you think it would take to implement it? I know not everything all at once, et cetera, but within the first year or two, do you anticipate?
Yeah, that's the plan, like, because if this gets approved and going through our financing, moving all of that, so we're gonna be hitting the winter. So on winter time, we'll not be able to do that. So we're
Okay.
gonna start taking quotes, because the main thing is the roof. So
Okay,
that's gonna be a number one thing.
okay,
So after the winter time, so that's gonna be our first thing to do is the roof. The little things like, because I don't know, we also, yeah, but we also, want to take care of all the neighbors and those two properties that are basic. Can you please open the outside where the trailers are? That one? Just go down. What are we planning to do right, not right away, but that's going to be the first thing that we can do before the winter hits. So we have those neighbors over here. So what are we planning to do? Because all this fence over here just basically falling apart and just pushing the ground to our neighbors. Because there's uneven land. So what are we planning to do? Just to make it nice, reinforce it, or maybe just to dig whatever needs to be dig out, just to put it like a nice solid fence that's gonna be, suitable for us and for our neighbors. So that's going to be the first thing. The second thing, just to clean up all of this mess over here. The water drainage system over here is like does not exist. So we're planning to put like a nice. So that's little thing that we can do before the winter hits. We're gonna do it, but obviously the big project like the roof, it has to postpone based on the time frame, I guess.
thank you.
So, go ahead.
I was just gonna. May I ask, is the structure, what is the frame? Is it wood? Is it wood framing or is it metal framing?
Metal.
It's all metal framing.
I thought it was cinder block, the building.
Are you asking about the building or the fence?
I'm asking about the building. I'm not asking.
Oh, it's a cinder blocks.
I'm not asking about the rest of it. So the whole building, all three buildings.
So this one, I don't see it. Well, the inside? So this one is a cinder block.
Okay.
Where's the machine gonna be?
Okay.
And this one has this is the metal building with the insulation inside. And the barn is the brick with the wood roof that needs to be replaced.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
Trustee Kelly, you had something?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot one of the questions I had for Mr. Khan, and I wanted to make sure I was following what you said correctly, or not that I was following it correctly. At the beginning, when you were sharing how we got to the process today, was I correct in hearing that you said staff went to planning and zoning with the recommendation to approve this, and that after planning and zoning, staff's recommendation now is to deny?
No, my recommendation was for the village board to consider the planning and zoning commission's recommendation. And then if the village board is gonna vote to approve the special use, to approve the conditions, the recommended conditions of approval.
Okay, so staff did not have a recommendation prior to planning and zoning.
Well, there was one provided to planning and zoning commission, correct?
Right, and there was, and what was that recommendation provided to planning and zoning?
To recommend approval.
Okay, so I was correct then. You did, I don't mean you, but staff recommended approval. It went to planning and zoning, and now staff's recommendation is to follow planning and zoning, which is denial.
No. Staff recommends approval. It goes to PCZBA. They recommend denial. staff's recommendation does not change. It comes here with the recommendation from PCZBA for denial, but the staff's recommendation is static from the approval that it gave originally. Is that correct, Mel?
Correct.
Mr. Kelly, do you understand where we're at procedurally?
So staff's recommendation is approval. Planning and zoning's findings of fact and recommendation is denial.
No, there's findings of fact for both.
Yes.
So we have proposed findings of fact for both approval and denial, which is customary in these types of cases in the event that, you know, what facts that you find that would carry the day for your vote. Does that make sense, Trustee Kelly?
That part makes sense, but I guess, and I apologize, I feel like this is basic and I should be understanding it.
No, I'm explaining it poorly and I apologize.
No. Staff's recommendation was for approval. The planning and zoning voted for and to recommend denial. So am I correct that we have two different groups, staff and planning and zoning, that have opposed recommendations on this project?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, thank you. And so staff's recommendation doesn't change after planning and zoning. It stays what the original recommendation was.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now, did your conditions change?
The conditions approved did not change.
Okay.
Okay, hopefully everybody has time to had time to ask whatever questions. This is the quietest I think I've stayed. And I have some. And so I figured I would wait to the end. So you've been in business for 6 years.
25.
Right? Mm-hmm. And you say that you're one of the only companies in America that do this type of work.
No, not the only one, but it's
very limited. It's very limited. So you would say business is good, right? Which is why you need to move and expand.
Yeah.
So what happens in 6 years when you move away from Hampshire?
Actually, we were just talking about this, and we are not planning to move from Hampshire.
Sure, that's easy to say when you're.
No, I think we hope, you know, by the way it goes, we're gonna overgrow this place in the next like 3 to 4 years. And we saw you have some land for sale in Hampshire, and we are planning to build what's gonna fit our needs, our business, and that's what we're planning to build, and we would like to stay, because I understand what we're doing right now. You just have to trust us, what I'm saying, and give us the permission right now to run, but, you know, we are honest, hardworking people, you know.
And I don't dispute that. I don't dispute that. I'm going to be clear. I like what you're doing. Okay, I like that you're taking tires that would normally go into a landfill and turn them into something that's sustainable, and there's zero waste as far as that goes, and you're scrapping the metal portions of it because again, you see tires stacked up at truck stops, you see them stacked up at a landfill. I like what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I want to thank you for answering the question honestly. I didn't think that you were dishonest, but thank you for answering. The problem that I have in this conversation is not with you. And it's not with what you're doing, because I really believe that you're doing the work that you're doing is filling a void that you've even stated, and I've done some research, that's not being done really well here in the United States. Mm-hmm. The problem that I have is we are going from B2 zoning that really doesn't fit for with the houses surrounding it, mm-hmm. to now granting a change to M1. Now, granted, the special use. Right? Well, keep me honest here. The special use is granted to the company, correct, but the overall zoning change is going to be forever.
Correct.
So my problem is not with you, your company, and with what you are doing, because I'm with you. Like, I think but my issue is we're taking that really doesn't fit around all those houses now, and then giving somebody the keys for you to move out in 3 to 4 years. Hopefully, right? For you, I hope that that's the case and that you expand. And I really hope that you're interested in building a building here. Mm-hmm. But where I'm stuck is then now we're going to be having the same conversation in 3 to 4 years, or maybe not, because we've already given them that use, right? And there's people that live there. So again, my problem isn't with you. My problem isn't with your use, because I think it's great. I think that it doesn't fit here. That's my concern. And that's the end of it. I'm not gonna take any other commentary over it. It doesn't fit. That's my view on it, and you're not gonna change my opinion. I don't really get a vote, right? Unless we're tied up, I don't get a vote. So, unless you.
Under an ordinance, you have the right but not the obligation to vote under Illinois law.
Correct.
Correct. So custom for the village has been for the president not to cast a vote. But under an ordinance, because of the statement of Illinois law under non-home rule units, you have the right but not the obligation to vote. Custom for the village, including prior administrations, has been for the president not to cast a vote.
And Trustee Coates, I want to say, I 110% agree with you. They were doing dog treats and rawhides and all this other stuff. And if the wind was blowing a certain way, you were standing outside, you got Dunlin Farm manure and rawhide from Pet Ag. That was just what you got out here. And I agree with you that this is a better use for that. I have concerns about the trucks backing into the driveway 3, 4, 5 times a day.
A week.
A week, okay, whatever. That's now. Hopefully business is better and maybe you amp it up. But we can't hold you to that, is my point. We can't hold you to, okay, you get 3 trucks a day and that's it. And then I can't have a police officer out there making you only have that.
Yeah, I understand.
I think it's a tough area. I think it's a really tough area because it's commercial, but there's residential right there and it's close to our downtown. And I am concerned about the zoning change, not the operation.
Well, we've been changing zonings back, right? Didn't we have a house over there that was listed as a restaurant and he couldn't get a loan?
We've had several of those cases.
Okay.
We've had all over.
So we're cleaning up a lot of our zoning issues. At least this one, we know up front what it is.
I understand that. That's my concern. Do with it what you will.
If I could just clarify too, the houses there are not zoned for residential?
But they should be.
But
they're not.
They're not.
But they should, be.
Houses, right? Yeah, they are houses.
We've made a concerted effort. We've made a concerted effort here at the village, and we are continuing to go through this exercise multiple times we're going through this right now in a couple of other places out on Allen and all this other stuff where zoning has been improper, especially up in Washington Avenue. I think we rezoned 14 houses at our expense because they've changed hands and you've had veterans trying to buy homes and not able to get VA loans because things are not zoned correctly. We've got property that's zoned residential that we're going through issue right now where that property is zoned residential and it's been some form of commercial operation since the 60s. So we recognize that zoning's not correct, to your point, of the homes. But what does a non-conforming use, it's a residential use, right? That's the terminology I learned this week. However, we've made a commitment to our residents that we're going to fix it. And we've been doing that for a few years now, trying to go through and identify and fix it at our cost.
Can I add?
Absolutely.
We are very deliberate with our zoning process in the village. We go through a process and like the president said, much more artfully than I will right now, we take our time and we go through it and we try to make sure things are done the right way. And when I say try to, we make sure things are done the right way. Anyone who's appeared before the zoning commission, planning and zoning, the joint commission at this point in time, or this body, know that we thoroughly vet things as much as any municipality in the region. And I can say throughout the state of Illinois, because I represent municipalities throughout the state of Illinois. So I can say that, number one. Number two, I understand your statement about the zoning classifications of the houses. And I will reiterate my point. As we all know, the most important thing about zoning and zoning changes is what does this fit in the character of the community? That's the first LaSalle testing, it's the strongest one, right? So when you say it's not in the right district, that does not change the fact that those are houses over there. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I have a question. After you guys got the finding of fact from planning and zoning, did staff have a meeting and decide to hold the course and their motion was to approve it, or?
You can't change it once it's been entered, Trustee Cole. They came up with their findings of fact, they came up with their recommendation, they can't change it. This is a state mandated process, correct, right?
Well, the reason I'm asking that, President Reed, is because after planning and zoning had their meeting, they went back to staff and staff concurred that they were gonna hold with their original.
No, I don't think that's true. That's
not true. With you and Kelly.
That's not
talking about it when he asked if staff change their mind after planning and zoning had their vote.
But I think that's missing an assumption.
Correct.
I think there's a missing assumption there. Mr. Kelly's question, unless I completely missed the boat, which is entirely possible, is that there are two bodies of recommendations from this village. One says yes, the other says no. I think he wanted clarification for that, not only for himself, but for the edification of this body relative to the vote. Mr. Kelly can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what his thing was. I don't think he said the process of this said, okay, we have to circle the wagons and say, well, planning and zoning said this, so now how are we still going to respond to that? In fact, I asked Mr. Khan, for those of you who are paying attention to my ramblings, was there additional conditions after planning and zoning? And he said, no, it's the same conditions. So it's been static. They made a recommendation to approve. That recommendation sits tonight at almost 9 o'clock.
I just respond. I just need to say, staff would have had the opportunity to change the recommendation when it brought this to the village board. It didn't do it, and everything else, I guess, is speculative on our part. The opportunity for reinvestment in this area, what they're going to do to improve and really dilapidated.
Mr. Bernie, I don't think anybody's disputing what they are going to do.
Correct. And so this is the big picture of the village. Is this not the best for the village as a whole, rather than these residential uses, which, no disrespect to them, are an anomaly in an area that's consistently comprehensively planned for manufacturing, surrounded by manufacturing, used by manufacturing. So I just look at it and I say, this checks all of the boxes for rezoning and especially.
But Mr. Bernie, I just want to correct something for the edification of my board if you were done, and I'm sorry.
No.
I don't know if those people living in those houses are manufacturing anything. So you're saying, but no. What you said, Mr. Bernie, what you said was, I don't think I am. What you said was, those are surrounded by people undertaking manufacturing and having manufacturing uses. What I'm saying is, there are also homes in that area too. So to say that it's consistent with a manufacturing use in that area, I think is a miscarriage. And I'm not saying you're being duplicitous at all. You are an honorable man and an excellent advocate. The fact of the matter is, I believe that there are residential uses over there as well, and I believe that the facts that forth put that clearly.
But I would just say to you that all of the manufacturing uses that have pre-existed this use, admittedly illegally, have had an impact on
Admittedly illegally, and the jump from one to the next are two things that I think this board needs to have a clear, for lack of a better word, record.
Just finish. I mean,
No, Mr. Bernie, I don't think you can. You and I have sparred before, and I'm good with it, right? I respect you.
No.
But I don't like the accusations that we allowed anything happening illegally. It's not, look, we've gone round and round, you and I, over the years, right? And the fact of the matter is you've got a product you're trying to sell, we've got a village we're trying to make the best decision for, right? I get it. This is the same exercise we go through every time. I think we've got it, and I think that before the conversation turns negative, like has happened historically, I think the board just needs to deliberate a little bit more, and then we can make the decision. I don't think that we need any more from your side. I think the board has what they need to have. I think you guys have done a great job. I think we're good.
I understand. Thanks.
I just don't need to get dirty.
Were any of the residents, to the planning and zoning, were any of the residents glad to see something coming in after the buildings has been vacant for 4 years and falling apart?
Well, Mr. Khan, you said, can you speak to the public comments and the letters that we got, right? There were 5 people total, correct?
Yeah, there was 5 public comments.
That's the lady in the planning.
I understand, but Mo has record of the ones that came in, because there were some that came in outside of the planning and zoning. That's all, Mr.
There was 5 public comments. One came in before the public hearing in writing that.
Are they in our? They're not in our. packet, right?
No, the one public comment from Kruger is in your
Yeah.
packet. The other four were given during the public hearing at the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting and are summarized in the agenda supplement to the village board.
How many were for, how many were against?
I would say four of them were against, and one was just questioning. Had a question about what the previous use of the property was. He didn't make a comment of yes or for, but the other four comments were generally negative.
Mr. Khan, on that, but when those comments came in, they did not know exactly what was going inside or what was, they just knew it was a change of zoning that was gonna be there, but they didn't know how loud it was, they didn't know. So they were expressing a concern that they had the extra light, extra noise, et cetera, and they were opposed to that. But did they come, not that they have to come to the hearing, they do not, but did they have it expressed as to?
The public comments came after the presentation by village staff and the petitioner at the Planning and Zoning Commission, so they were given some additional information other than just the notification that's
Okay.
required by state law.
Okay, so they knew it was gonna be going in there, they
Yep.
expressed,
Yeah, the comments came after the presentation.
okay. Did they respond afterwards then?
There was some back and forth, but I can't remember all,
Okay,
those were four comments that I summarized were the ones that spoke as part of the public hearing.
okay.
Counselor, can I ask?
Yeah.
Why does, if a special use is up for deliberation here, then why does it need to be rezoned from B1 to M1?
Because of the underlying, and maybe Mo can explain this better than I can, but to get to the special use, it needs to be in a different zoning district. The map itself needs to change, and then think of it, and obviously Mr. Bernie can comment on it too. Think of it as it going on top of that, okay? For just a very, it's kind of a simple analogy. So we need to build that port, and then we put that in there with the special use, but we can't put it in there. The first step is to get it in that, to change the color of that map. So it's the color that they want it, which is the district. And then on top of that district, the special use permit comes on and allows this use that they're requesting.
So the use that they're asking for is not permitted in B2 at all, but it is permitted in M1 with the special use. That makes sense.
If Mr. Bernie wants to comment.
No, just, sorry, if you're worried about manufacturing rezoning, I'll defer to Mr. Sully, but if we impose the condition on the special use that it can only be used for this operation based on the exhibits that we've presented, I don't know if that would help.
I think that's already a condition. I think that's already a condition.
The concern, and I think this goes with what President Reed was saying, the concern is 4 years down the road, you open a bigger facility that you may need, wherever that may be, and now we are stuck with a M1 zoned property that doesn't fit in an M1 or in an M zone, basically. I think that's the concern. So it's not what the gentleman is proposing to do. It's what happened after he leaves.
What if we limit the use under the special use conditions to only this, and that none of the other M1 uses are permitted under this rezoning, and then ultimately it just reverts back?
Well, can it revert back to a B? Is it a B2?
I don't think you can do that with a text amendment. I don't think,
can we set it up where it can be M1 now, and if they ever move from there, it'll revert back to.
we've only ever been able to do that with special use. We've never been able to tie a text amendment to a use.
And my experience in working with different attorneys, the rezoning runs with the land.
Yeah.
Not with the person, not with the business, not with the entity, it runs with the land. So if they stop operating, you can't revert zoning or change zoning automatically. It would have to go through the zoning process to change the zoning again to B1 or whatever the request would be.
So we would have
The point of the special use is to be personal, right?
Right.
That's the use. The point, and like Mo said, the point of, I'm going to make this more confusing. The point of the map amendment is to change what uses are there, just like the point of the text amendment is to say these are the listed uses or whatever else is on it.
I
Two types of things,
I get that. Can there be a condition that upon vacancy of the building, the owner
There's precedent in Cook.
Zones it back to what it was prior to them.
That's how Cook County handles its special.
I know, we don't wanna be.
No.
Affiliated or even.
Yeah,
Jump right on a third way.
For just as an example,
No, we just told Cook County.
They don't rule up right, Cook County.
Could one of the conditions be it goes back to B
One.
one?
But then we open that box for every other property in the village.
And we've never done that before in the village. I'm not saying,
I'm just asking, just to throw
Yeah.
a thought out there.
I mean, I like the conditions more in a special use because it's predicated on a use rather than on there. On the rezoning, the map amendment as we discussed. I just think there's a lot out there. We have talked about issues with regards to use, with regards to fire, health, safety, and welfare, procedural matters with regards to both special use and zoning issues. So if you want to talk substance and procedure, we've hit every nail that you could hit or every key on this piano board. And I commend the board for going through this so thoroughly.
there's one other way to do this, and that is to process, we'd have to come back for a text amendment to create a recycling center as an enumerated special use in the B1.
Again, that creates a whole nother thing where now people are gonna come to us and say, okay, well, I'm sorry that we're residential, but we want to put in a manufacturing plan. Then look, you already did an enumerated special use in this district, so why can't you do it here?
We're just trying to get a win-win for everybody.
No, and I get it.
I have
You
another
had a
question.
thought, you had, looked like you had a thought on this.
No, I mean, it's a novel approach, right? But the president makes an excellent point that we have these rules. We're very deliberate with regards to the zoning. We've gone through changes with regards to the zoning on a mass scale for both map amendments and for text amendments. And, we want to keep the zoning uses within the character of those other surrounding uses that are permitted or special uses by law.
Could I clarify on that point too? Actually, for this building is actually connected to the adjacent building, the 255 Keys building, and there's a pass-through that runs between those two buildings. That building is actually zoned M1 currently. So it's actually connected to the adjoining building that is zoned M1.
Parcel?
It's a separate parcel, but they're connected on the lot line. So just saying that the zoning is there because it actually connects to that zoning.
Would have been attached to the other property? Not this one.
Yeah, they're sold separately. Yeah, because
So that zoning stays with that property and this zoning stays.
No, I'm just saying for proximity, but to clarify that that is actually attached right now to an.
So there's residences there and already M1.
Yeah.
I have a question for you for, lines. Is this in the TIF district?
I believe so. I'll double check.
Okay. If that is the case, as far as, how would this benefit our community? Yes, it would be lovely to have a building in use, because by the way, love the business. Okay, I do. I really, really do. My concern is the location. Okay, and would this be of any financial benefit to the village if it is in the TIF district?
Is that a question for me?
Indeed, after you tell us if it is.
Yeah, my computer is currently staying. So, it definitely would benefit the TIF district. Obviously, any type of increase in property value would add money to the TIF district.
Okay, would, as far as taxes and money,
So,
how would that?
So the way the TIF district works is, only the village would benefit during the duration of the TIF, district.
Okay.
Are you okay, Mr. Russo?
Yeah, it's a big one, Elizabeth. No.
Hoping it wasn't something I said.
No, not at all. The grabber, yeah.
All of the other taxing districts would get their base, but nothing more, anything extra, property value wise would all come to the village, to the TIF district. So,
Trustee Fuller, it is in the separate.
It is in the TIF.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mine is, like, literally, thank you for that.
What do we think, board? Any other questions? Do you want to vote on it?
That's all. I mean, it's a business that produces no dust, no noise,
So they say. We don't have any evidence to that. I guess, here's my feeling. I would like, I think if Ms. Seehausen were here, she would say, we don't do maybes and we don't come back. So I would rather get these questions answered and then have this come back, if that is an option.
I mean, we can do whatever this board wants to do, but we've historically not kicked zoning issues after they've come, right? They've done, like, and we're up to it, it's up to this board, but they've gone through the staff, they've gone through the public hearings, they've gone through the zoning and all that other stuff. The option they would have in that situation is to reapply.
Okay.
And so, we could still kick it if you want and give them that opportunity, but we've not historically done that with zoning. We've made them go through the process again.
Have we historically had 2 opposing recommendations?
Oh, I think in my time here we had that.
Is that?
Oh, yeah, we had it most recently even.
I feel like we have a lot of unanswered questions that are pretty significant, and would have an impact on, I know, my vote, but having listened to my colleagues here, I mean, I'm thinking several of us have concerns that if we had answers, we could be more confident in our vote.
We could. You've been quiet, but it's not like you have something to say that's nice.
I actually went and drove by it yesterday because if I lived there, I would want somebody to actually pay attention to my house. And there's 4 houses there, and they're very close. And I don't care what they're zoned; they're very close to that building. And I work with manufacturing every single day in my job, and you know, there's always exceptions to everything, right? But nothing is perfect. Nothing is always going to be clean. It's not always going to be quiet enough. And to be honest, I don't want to listen to a lawnmower for 10 hours a day. Like that's a lot of noise. Like there's kids playing in their backyards and it's there. I love your product. I think it's awesome. But I don't want it there at all. That's why I drove right there and I sat there and I took pictures. It's like this person's backyard is your backyard. Like that's I didn't like it.
What are you guys feeling? Are you guys feeling we vote on it? Do you want to table it? What do you want to do?
Will it hurt you to revisit it in 2 weeks?
Well, it seems like we have like 3 studies of this photo has. It's the fire study in terms of the threat of fire. The 2 is the fire department, access to the property. The 3rd is a noise study. And if I missed something else, it'd be nice to know. I don't think we can get a noise study done in 2 weeks. My client, and I know we have this problem that you don't want to zone the entire piece M. And he's willing to eliminate at this point in time the line for doing the recycling and just use this facility for storage. And I better minds than I to be able to limit this to just the tire storage. Would that help us to get over the hump?
The application.
I'm sorry?
It's a reapplication.
Yeah, it's a totally different use. You'd have to start over.
Yeah.
It's a different use, and would the offices still be there?
So part of our use that's been presented is storage. Basically the storage of this type. So I'm not sure why it's a.
Well, what's the zoning district you're asking for?
It would be M, it would be storage in the M.
So you're still asking for the zoning change. That's Mr. Bernie. That's the hangup.
I know, I
understand what you're doing.
No,
you're really good at it.
I'm not trying to fool you.
Yeah. Why couldn't you do a noise study? If the machine cranks out 90 decibels, go rent something that's 90 decibels, put it inside, have somebody stand outside with the doors closed, do a noise study.
I am, are you willing to kick this over to do a noise? Yes, we'll.
Hold on, how many grinding machines do you have? One?
One.
Okay, so you get busier and the building is bigger and so you're gonna have more than one grinding?
No, because the process is gonna go that this building will not, so for 2 machines, we will need like a huge power. So we will not be able to do that because, price of power, I believe you work with Comet, right? And the Comet will not be able to supply us so much power into that building. So no matter how big in the in the grinding that we go, it's just not gonna. We'll not be able to bring the machine because right now our machine, we run because of the lack of the space. We're not running on the full, capacity. So that's why we'll not be able to put two machines in this. Simply can't because the Comet will not be able to.
The machine is the same as you said, the size of two podiums.
The tire goes in.
The tire goes in, so that's not.
That's because of that's not the whole machine. That's one of the.
There's conveyors.
Much bigger. I know the conveyors move, et cetera, but that's where the bulk of the noise is coming from. Is from the grinder, and it's the size of two of the podiums.
The opening space for the tire.
It's not this massive thing that's going to be making all this noise. It's very contained to that little area.
And again, for me personally, I don't care how much noise it makes. It's the zoning that gets me. That's the whole crux of the argument for me. I like what you're doing. I think that a lawnmower, when you close the doors, you're not going to hear it all the time. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of impact to the residents with his operation. The next one is the one I'm worried about when we give it the M1 zoning. That's it for me. Like, I love what you're doing. And I don't think that the noise is going to be an issue. And I think you're going to run a clean place because you got a brand and you're in high demand. And I believe that. But I think it's the next guy that we're going to have a problem with. And if we don't think about these residents now, who's going to do it when we're gone?
I'm going to kicking it over. Can I have some time to talk to Mr. Maselli? In the next 2 weeks, just to see if I can convince him that if this special use, which would be limited to one machine.
You're not going to convince him. He ain't an elected official. We are.
It's illegal. I'm sorry.
Mr. Bernie, unless your application is going to be where they stopped and you can operate somehow under B2, that's what we're talking about. I don't know how much clearer I can go and put up a billboard, or I can have Mo put it on the screen. The zoning change is our issue.
And I'm saying to you that
is some of the trustees' issue. So
well, I understand, but that's the big. But that's
we haven't voted.
But no, but I'm saying that's the big overarching thing.
I'm saying to you that if the recycling center ends, that the property reverts back to the current zoning district. That's what I.
How does that work? And then how does that not open the door for any other project that wants to come in there?
Well, I mean, it's not customer practice. Mr. Bernie's right. They do in Cook County. This is not Cook County. I understand that. I don't live in Cook County.
I don't either.
You said the building's in zone M1,
but
it's attached to a building that's zone M.
Is that building big enough to put the grinder in?
It's so right now it can be purchased as two properties or one property. They're purchasing the one property. They connect.
The practice is being asked for is wholly, it would be a novel thing. It would be the first time we've done it, and it's wholly distinct from anything that we've done like that. Right. This would be precedent. This would be precedent setting.
We're just looking to kick the tires to see what consequences.
There you go.
What kind of I can't help myself. So just to see what kind of impact, the consequences of taking this approach. How many people are going to want to do this?
Every single one in the largest growing region in the state.
Did you lose your zoning if your special use goes away?
We were involved in light hearings together. And what was the overarching concern from this board? That was setting precedent.
Yes, and I just think this is a different precedent, but we would like to keep a light on for this. I think this is a win-win if we could figure out a way to get there without rezoning this ground M.
Go to the fire department, get them done. While you're at it, go talk to the 4 residents, show them the building. Take the 4 residents that have houses, take them in the building and show them what you're gonna do.
Thank you.
Take them to your Schaumburg plant.
So are we, what are we doing? Wait, hold on, wait a second. What is this board deciding that we're going to do? because we need a formal motion to table both A and B if that's the case.
Motion to table for 2 weeks
Is
Give
2
them-
weeks sufficient?
to give them time to talk to the fire department until our next meeting.
Is that sufficient time?
If it's not, we will let the manager know and ask for additional time, but
So what happens now that the motion's made for 2 weeks? And it goes longer?
Why can't we just motion to table? We can't, we need to put a date on it because there has to be,
Can we do it indefinitely?
now that'll be killing it on this.
My motion was for 2 weeks. If you can't drive 4 blocks to get to go down there, then you don't need to, then you don't deserve it.
I think the 2 weeks.
The one question, and it's a valid one. If you're gonna do a table, which can be withdrawn at this point, if you're gonna do a table, don't you really want the comprehensive amount of studying? We don't wanna call the Mary Jo saying, kick it 2 more weeks, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But I am not, as it was very artfully pointed out, I am not an elected official.
You don't need to be smart.
We've never tabled a zoning vote in my time. Or yours. And so I'm concerned that now that we've gotten beat up over this too with other projects, we make people follow the process. And then now we're opening a door for some people to say, but you didn't do it, you didn't make them follow the process for this project, or you didn't make them follow the process for this project. You held each other to the vote. And now we're opening the door for another project. I understand all of the variables, but we've held true to this in everything. And then we've said, nope, sorry, reapply. And then other projects have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And have had to spend the time and due diligence to come back to us. And I respect where you're coming from, Trustee Coe. I get it. I am really concerned that we're doing something differently for this specific project that we wouldn't afford the luxury for somebody else. They had their time. People had their time to give their comments. People had their time to do their research. They had their time to answer questions.
I'll withdraw my motion. Do whatever you want.
I'm just concerned.
I withdraw my motion, Mr. President.
I'm not asking that. I'm just saying, if the board wants to do that, then the board can do that. Again, I don't even have a vote in this unless we have a tie.
Well, and you do not have a motion, you do not have a vote on the tabling. That is not, you can't vote on that. Unless there's a tie on that.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
I thought you meant it's some sort of ordinance, because it's two separate.
no, but that's what I'm saying. So if the board feels that we should handle this project differently, then you're all, I mean, again, I don't even have say in the conversation. Those are my concerns.
And there's no objection to Mr. Coth withdrawing his motion, right, Mr. President?
Or him making that.
No, I know, but if he wants to withdraw, we gotta make sure that there's no objections to him withdrawing.
There's no second, so it died for lack of a second.
Well, there might not have been a second because I was talking, to be fair. I want to give him his due diligence. So it's up to the board as to what we want to do here. Either we vote on it or we table it. So the board has to make a decision.
He's already withdrawn his motion to table.
I understand, but there's still no motions to move forward. So the board has to make a decision either to table this or vote on what's being presented this evening. But we can't do nothing, and I can't make the motion.
You know, the items on the agenda.
It dies.
Right. I'm willing to entertain any motions, but I don't even need to entertain it. You guys are willing, you guys can make the motion at any point for anything.
We need to vote on it, so I will make a motion to.
You have to make it in the affirmative. You have to make every motion in the affirmative.
Okay, then I will make the motion to the rezoning.
And that does not commit you to an affirmative vote.
Correct. No, it's
temper
just-
you. Yeah, I mean, it would be, your motion would be a motion to approve ordinance 2624, approving rezoning map amendment from B1 to M2 for 201 Keys Avenue, Echo Rubber.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Except it's a bracketed motion, so.
No, it's not a bracketed motion. Be bracketed without objection for discussion purposes only.
And it's M1, you said M2.
It's for M1.
It's M1. I did say M2, I'm sorry. I have no.
Just want to make sure it was clear.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have a motion to bring forth a vote on the approving of the rezoning. We would need a second to bring the motion to the floor for a vote.
Second.
Okay. Now, any votes would either be affirming the motion change or denial of said zoning change. Does that make sense? So your yes means yes and no means no. Well, sometimes it gets confusing in these.
I got you.
No, so I appreciate the clarification.
Okay, Ms. Clerk.
An abstination,
Do we have any?
an abstination goes with the affirmative. So if you abstain, that would go with the affirmative.
If you vote present?
If you vote, yes, if you abstain or vote present, which we accept as an abstination, that would go with the affirmative approval of Mr. Robinson's motion. And thank you, everybody, for your patience.
Questions, comments before we call roll? Ms. Clerk.
Mr. Robinson,
No.
Ms. Fodor,
No.
Ms. Jernerbro,
No.
Mr. Kelly,
No.
Mr. Cove,
No.
and Ms. Palestrini.
Yes.
Vote in favor, 5-1.
Now, how do we handle the next one? Do we have to table that because we can't vote on it? So just,
No, do
we have to do anything procedurally?
I do not see anything to be done procedurally on here. The condition precedent of ordinance number 20, proposed ordinance number 2625 was being in that M1 district, which this board just denied. You could motion to table it indefinitely to essentially put an end to it. You can't approve it because you're not there.
So we could just leave it and move on to the next?
Yeah, it could not be called. It sits there. It's an empty motion. It's an empty ordinance number.
Okay.
Yeah, make a comment.
Absolutely.
I would encourage you to find another location in our community. We would love to, I would love to have you. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but what I heard was we are very interested in your business. It's just not the right location.
I can echo her comments. I can't speak for everybody else, but we have a fantastic.
I can tell you,
I agree with her.
my no vote was not for you. I love what you're doing. My no vote is setting that precedent. This is now an M1 district and it's not you, it's the next one down the road or 3 down the road. That's not the route we want to take. We would love to have you in the village.
Okay.
And if we don't want to risk our zoning code to have you in the village.
And I don't know if you've worked with, if you've worked with MoCon at all, but he has his finger on the pulse of any available properties within the village. He knows where the zoning is. If you're looking at building, we'd love to volunteer his services with that. That's what he's here to do, is help with community development. And so if there's another spot that maybe fits better, he'd be the one to point you in that direction.
Okay.
We've tried, thank you.
And in closing, I'd like to say we're obviously disappointed, but we admire the time and effort that you put into the deliberations and felt like you really listened to us, and that makes a lot of difference. So good night until the next time.
Yes, sir.
We look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, on to the second agenda item this evening.
Give us some credit.
Mo, can you help us through this, please?
Yeah, so we have a resolution accepting the public improvements for School District's 300 elementary school project at Olmsted. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Paulson for the details, as he's more familiar with this project than I am.
It's not, maybe. You wait over there?
He's watching The Simpsons.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, not the audio again. You sound like you're working the drive-through at Wayne's World, man.
Sorry.
Just 1 minute.
While Mr. Paulson's working on his audio, I will turn your attention to the agenda supplement provided by Mr. Paulson in the agenda packet. So this, the school district's contractor completed the punch list improvements for Ridgecrest Drive and Magnuson Way. E, I recommended the acceptance of improvements on the letter dated November 10th of 2025. And the recommendation was conditioned on receiving the bill of sale and the maintenance bond, which we received both of those. And the bill of sale will be signed if it is accepted by the board tonight.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I switched over to my laptop. I don't understand because I've been in multiple meetings. I've been in meetings with Mo and he hears me fine, but something about the boardroom is not working. So I apologize for that. I'll try to figure that out. But Mo pretty well, explained. This is for the roads, Ridgecrest and Magnuson Way that are in front of the elementary school out there.
Mr. Paulson, it's not checked for retention in the detention basin, and there is one out there. So that's not included?
Yeah, that is not on the school's property. That is still owned by Crown, and it also serves the remainder of the development out there. So its acceptance will come later with Crown and some of their future improvements.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
One question on page 3 of the supplement, the actual certificate. The property is listed as Oakstead Neighborhood Middle School.
That's actually the name. That's the name of the subdivision. That may have been the intent when they first had their discussions, and when the property was deeded to or given to the school district, they subdivided, and the name of the subdivision was Oakstead Neighborhood Middle School. So that's why it's stated that way.
Okie doke.
Any other questions or comments?
I will entertain a motion to approve the accepting of the public improvements. So move.
Second.
Or questions or comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Mrs. Fodor?
Aye.
Mrs. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Mrs. Palastrellini?
Aye.
And Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next item on the agenda, we have the resolution approving the purchase of the locker rooms for the police station. I'll turn it over to Chief Pan for further details.
So you have in front of you
You act like you're sleeping over there. Just drink the whole cover.
I'm good. An agenda supplement that describes a locker room purchase. We do not have a locker room at the police department. We have one room that includes right now it's a break room, a locker room, equipment, cabinets that have a bunch of junk in them, and I would like to. One of the big deficiencies that I noted when I first came to our facility is that we don't have a locker room. So we don't have men's locker room. We don't have women's locker room. We've heard several times that when officers have left, that we didn't have a locker room, or when officers have chosen other departments. We lost one female officer to another community, basically in the 11th hour, and her comment was, "You don't even have a locker room." And so, I really want to foster a good environment, a good culture in the police department, and continue to do that and build it. And I think that a big boost for morale would be to have our officers actually have some place to keep their equipment. Police lockers aren't cheap. Right now we use old gym lockers from a school that are 10 inches wide. And
I think Trustee Coe got those.
Yeah. They're did you?
I really think he did. That wasn't a jab.
Yeah. There's 15 of them. We have 16 full-time employees now and one part-time, so we really don't even have enough of our gym lockers. But I really think that this would be a good boost for the morale of the police department. And also, even though right now I don't have any female officers, I think it's important to establish that women's locker room too, because that's certainly something that we heard from a couple of the females that left, was that they didn't have a place where there was any privacy. So even though most officers right now don't change at the station, they still when they want to take a break and get that vest off and those sorts of things, and there's not a lot of modesty. So we want to make sure we facilitate for that. So there's a sergeant's office. Right now that we have two sergeants and they're sharing an sorry, they each have their own office, which there's no reason they can't share an office. I've discussed that with them. They're in support of this to get the lockers. So they would share an office, and then I would take that one of the sergeant's offices and make it into the female locker room. We do have two female employees, and so they would have access to that for now. And then that would give us a total of 25 lockers, 20 in the men's locker room and 5 in the women's locker room.
Is that gonna present a problem for like equal rights?
No, it's pretty much standard practice for, because typically 10%, I'm sorry, 30%? So it's right about the balance, that's okay. And if we have, if we were able to hire more women, that would be great, and we figure out something to do. I know it's a big investment in a lease facility, but I don't anticipate in the near future we're going to be moving anywhere. We have several years left on the lease yet, and I did confirm with our vendor that we can move these lockers, because they are, they're quality. It's a quality product and something that we could easily take with us. It's a Sourcewell contract that they have, so this style of locker, they're expensive regardless, but this is a Sourcewell contracted company, so that avoids the bidding process. Any other questions on that?
I have one.
Yes.
The bottom of this says if pricing was valid for 30 days, and the date on this is January 15th.
I did recently confirm with him that the pricing is still good. After, as I was preparing the budget supplement, I saw that, and he said he didn't need to reissue a quote because that one was so good.
Well, you said it was Sourcewell contract, right? They have to honor that pricing.
Okay, it just says right.
No, I know, but it's a state contract. Everything they got on. Any other questions? I like the fact that you guys actually put benches in your locker room, unlike the Public Works. Just saying. Any thoughts? You entertain motion? We paid how many lines? 14. We didn't get any benches. Should have spent 15. You should have spent 50.
We're gonna have some additional expenses, but I think it's gonna be pretty minor. Once we get there's a cabinet in the corner. We may need to put flooring in, but I do have elsewhere in my budget. I've got some.
You know how to put flooring?
Money.
Entertain a motion for purchase of lockers.
So moved.
Second. Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Ms. General?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
As we talked about in the budget process, we have to buy a tornado warning siren. Before you see the quote. For the warning siren to be placed in one of the subdivisions, like we would do normally, it's connected via cellular and all that good stuff, and it's $34,000. Did I cover it, Mo?
Cheap pan.
The only thing I'd like to point out is if you look at the map, this completes coverage of every area that's developed right now. The only place that's not covered that's in the village is out there by what is it, Blackstone, but on 20, the storage area out there. Black Diamond, yeah, sorry. As Oakstead develops and they complete Oakstead, we'll need to get the siren out there for sure. So probably next year. Because as it reaches out to 47 there by Gilbert's, that area will be outside of the coverage zone.
Maybe 2 cups of coffee next time, Chief.
I know, it's late. I could have had another. I could have. So.
Any questions about the siren?
No.
I entertain a motion to approve the purchase of siren for $34,000.
Second.
Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini? Mr. Robinson? Ms. Fodor? Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
You broke your pencil.
Yes, I did. And the motion passes 6-0.
So next, we bought a squad car as part of our budget this last year, and we have to pay to put stuff in it. So the squad car costs about $42,000 or so, $41,060.63, and it costs more to upfit it, it appears. You can?
Yes, it does.
Okay, well, so, and, so upfitting means lights, sirens.
The only thing we'll be transferring over is the squad car that we're gonna be replacing is an older, Durango, and it had older equipment than that come into it, so we would be replacing basically everything new except for the computer and docking station. That'll be transferred over. And the computer docking station printer, radar actually, so there'll be several items transferred over. Camera system, but even that, it's still at 18,000 for the upfitting. And that costs a transfer of equipment.
Any questions?
Yeah, gonna reuse the decal. Just kidding. Sorry.
Actually, well, we have to switch to the new style.
I'll entertain a motion approving the upfit.
That's actually the outfit and the Durango, sir. Sorry.
Upfit and the Durango.
Yes.
So now, we're just gonna approve the upfit. Well, you gotta buy it.
Nowhere.
Sorry if I was out of order.
Sorry, we reflected in your review. So we have a first and a second?
Yes, you do.
Okay, any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Mrs. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson? Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
And Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Mr. Khan,
Yes, sir.
this, the plant pump, $38,000.
So the Harmony pumping station works at the wastewater treatment plant at 350 Middle Avenue. One of the pumps has failed. Mr. Montgomery, our utility supervisor, got 2 quotes, one for the repair of the existing pump and one for the replacement with a new pump. The recommendation is to go with the new pump for $4,000, $3,000 more, and a lot shorter turnaround time to get the pump installed at the Harmony pumping station.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to buy the pump.
So moved.
Second. Questions, Mr. Go?
Yes, we're gonna buy the new one, not the refurbished one.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
clarification.
I don't think I have that power to motion, but maybe.
For an 8% increase on the price, we're gonna we're gonna go with the new, instead of, in 6 to 8 weeks, instead of the 22 to 24 weeks of let's manufacture the parts and try to cobble a Frankenstein back together.
Thank you for the clarification. Trustee Ford, appreciate it.
Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Motion passes
Never
6-0.
been us down like that.
275 East Jackson has a lead service line. We've approved the replacement of said lead service lines. We have a plan. We've done the inventory. With that, H and I are bracketed in the fact that one is needed for the other, right? So we need to approve the purchase and replacement of said lead service line for 275 East Jackson, and then we need to approve the resolution for a temporary construction easement for said replacement. Does anyone have any question on either one of those, 26, 11, or 12?
So the change, or then in order to conduct the work, it's now at a cost of $26,015.
Yes.
And so that would be, and that's just for this year. Do you remember what it was last year, or the last one that we did?
Wasn't that?
That was, I think, a little.
I believe
this one here, there's 2 water mains, right? And the line's on one and they gotta go to the next one
Correct. They have to go across.
They can't plumb the one they're on. They gotta go to the next one, temporary easements to get through somebody's yard to get to the next one.
Okay,
So it's much more involved because.
and that's why it is for this one, but not necessarily will the next one be
Correct.
26,000. It could revert to 20,000.
Or 17.
Okay,
Good.
thank you.
Any questions? All right, I may have to call two separate votes. I'll entertain a motion approving the resolution approving the contract with Stark and Son for $26,015 for the lead service line replacement at 275.
So
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you go?
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Abstain.
Mr. Coth?
I
And Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
get the same delay there.
It's still goes with them.
The teams was right there.
6-0 with an abstain.
Yeah, we have 5 positives and 1 abstention, so we.
Yeah, so 5-0-1.
Thank you.
And then next, we need to approve the resolution approving a temporary construction easement for the previous project, 275 at East Jackson. Any motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
And what's involved with the temporary easement? Do we just gotta give somebody some money to go through their yard
No money involved. Just allow us to,
and just fix it when we're done?
Any other questions? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Abstain.
Mr. Coth? Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
And Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
The 5-0-1 is the call.
Mr. Khan, you're up.
All right, thank you, President Reed. Next, we have a resolution accepting public improvements for the Prairie Ridge North Lift Station. I will turn over to Mr. Paulson at this time.
Okay, so in Prairie Ridge North up there, off of on the west side of Harmony Road, the large section of that subdivision requires this lift station. And the construction is completed, and several of the neighborhoods that are tributary to the lift station have the infrastructure completed, and homes are nearing completion that will begin to feed the lift station. And Crown has completed construction and the punch list for the lift station, so it's ready for acceptance. And the village needs to take over the lift station and start operating it when these homes come online. So it is the appropriate time to accept the lift station.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2650.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
aye.
Mr. Robinson? Mrs. Fodor?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Mr. Khan?
Yes. So for the next 9K through, it says one agenda supplement in your 4-pack software. This is for the letter of credit reduction for various public improvements. In GH&I for erosion and sediment control. GH&I for public infrastructure like roadways, water mains, and stuff like that. And then J2. And then if you have a question, Mr. Paulson can most likely answer them for you. He looks likely.
I do have one question. Mr. Khan, you said this includes for roadways?
I believe, Ms. Paulson, can you
this-
correct me?
This does not include the roadways. The roadways aren't complete. So the items being reduced is like the water, the sewer, the sanitary improvements and the grading improvements.
All right, thank you.
Okay. If there are no other questions, we have to call individual votes on each resolution. Ms. Clerk, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2614, approving a letter of credit reduction for neighborhood J Phase 2. So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
And Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
I'll entertain a motion approving resolution 2615, adopting a letter of credit reduction for Prairie Ridge North neighborhood GHNI. So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Ms. Clerk?
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
I'll entertain a motion approving 2616, approving a letter of credit reduction for Prairie Ridge North Neighborhood G Phase 1.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk?
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor?
Aye.
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
And Mr.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
I'll entertain a resolution approving 2617, a letter of credit reduction Prairie Ridge North Neighborhood H.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
Ms. Clerk?
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
I'll entertain a motion approving resolutions 2618, approving a letter of credit reduction for Prairie Ridge North Neighborhood I Phase 1.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk?
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
And Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Should I just ask Mr. Paulson about the next one, or you got that?
Ms. Paulson would be a great person.
Mr. Paulson, walk us through the next motion to pay, request number 2, Well Water Solutions, well number 13.
Yeah, this is just a progress payment to the contractor for the well 13 rehabilitation project.
Nothing out of the ordinary? They just want their money?
Yes.
Fair enough. Any questions for Mr. Paulson? Entertain a motion to, oh,
When is that scheduled to be complete?
I am not 100% certain.
He can never answer the question.
Yeah, I can never answer these questions. I'll have to get back to you. A new pump and motor has to be ordered. So,
Mr. Paulson, you need to stop hanging out with Mr. Vaselli.
yeah, it needs
If we
to be
know it has
ordered,
to
and
be
I'm
ordered,
not sure
has
the
it been
delivery.
ordered?
It is several. It has been ordered. The new pump and motor, because if you recall, we pulled the pump and motor to examine it. That was, part of the contract, and we were not able to retrieve it because it's on the bottom of the well, and so we need a new one. And so it is ordered. I'm not sure the delivery date, but I understand it is several weeks out.
So
So
the
what
one
is-
that was stuck in the mud, you were never
good.
able to get out?
They had to pull it out.
Right.
They had to work to get it there.
Don't we have to get it out in order to be able to put another one in?
Well, they are going to have to seal the bottom of the well to, seal down. They were not able to retrieve it.
So what do? Pour concrete in the bottom of the well and then make the well bottom somewhere, take another.
Don't ask.
Basically, yes, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
What?
You're gonna seal the bottom of the well off and then put another well pump in on top of the concrete?
We're going to cap over the old pump and motor that they can't get out of the well. It disconnected and, fell to the bottom when it failed. And so they were not able to pull it out.
It's like
So they'll put a cap on,
So
they'll put a cap over it, and then we'll put a new pump and motor in. Which was always one of the alternatives.
I was imagining, I guess, a different reason why I was stuck in the mud. Can you explain what you mean by it got disconnected and fell? Did it just disconnect itself and fall? Or was this when they were trying to retrieve it and it disconnected?
When it failed, it basically blew apart and all the pieces fell to the bottom.
The things you learn. What did you learn? 9:45, isn't it?
But it went
And
deep.
there's no concern of like the parts or the pieces or whatever's inside the pump contaminating the well?
That is why it's
stuff
good.
down there.
That's why it's going to be capped.
And then they put the new pump on, set it right on the cement?
No, it'll be connected to the, to the piping that goes down there. It'll be suspended as the other one was at the end of the piping. It doesn't sit on the bottom.
So by capping, you mean you're just pouring concrete on top of the bottom, on top of where the motor is?
Essentially, yeah. So that there's no chance of contamination.
Things you learn. So as the kids would say, that's, there's no cap.
No cap.
There's no cap. There's no cap. They just pour concrete over it. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Paulson. Does anybody have any questions? I don't understand how pump fails that bad in a Blue Park. Is that fairly common? I'm not being, I have to know.
It happens. I mean, we did not anticipate that was what happened, but it has happened before.
Well, when stuff breaks around here, we tend to do a good job, so. I'll entertain a motion to approve pay request number 2, water well solutions for well number 13 for the park.
Moved. Second.
Questions or comments? Ms. Crowe.
Mr. Chairman Pro. Aye. Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Crowe.
Aye.
Ms. Palestrine.
Aye.
Mrs. Robinson.
Aye.
And Mrs. Fodor. I just say Mr.
You said,
No, you didn't. You did not. You did not. And he answered.
I did.
You know what? We'll discuss this.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Motion passes 6-0.
Just like you did.
Any old business tonight? Or age business? Okay.
Mr. Griswold? Aged business.
Okay, none.
Okay.
Moving on.
We have staff reports, we have a building report, we have an engineering report, we have a financial report. And then we also have a village board committee report of business development commission. So let's review the reports at this time. If there are any questions, address them to the appropriate staff, or just raise your hand. We're not in school, teach.
Practicing because we're already going to be in a couple hours. I have a safe routes to school question/comments.
Okay, what you got?
Well, the sidewalks are great.
Yep.
They did.
The one sidewalk that I'm a little concerned about is on Panama Avenue, just west of Centennial to the first home, which is a duplex, if I'm not mistaken. The drop off into, is that a retention, whatever it is? The drop off from the sidewalk is
Not as.
contradicting the term of safe route. If you fall off the edge of that sidewalk to the south, you would
Pull down the hill.
well, you might need medical attention. I don't know. So is there going to be like
Guardrail.
safety rail, guardrail, something at that location? Because that doesn't look too safe to me.
I don't believe that's part of the plan, no, but we will take a look.
If you guys,
You're gonna look at that?
check it out, please, next time you guys are out. Thank you.
Yes.
But the project seems to be moving along quicker than expected.
I saw them pouring asphalt today, so, I mean, that
I
was.
think they've completed the driveway reinstalls and most of the restoration,
Yes.
so.
Sorry, Mr. Phelps, I'll do better next time. Lay asphalt. Thank you.
So Mr. and Mrs.
He's Mr. today.
Okay.
Any other questions on any of the other reports? Does anybody want to give any context to any of the reports? Mr. Kelly, do you have anything for BDC this evening?
Well, before I do BDC, just to go on the safe routes, I do have to say it looks great that they have it there. And Panama's probably the most crooked new sidewalk I've ever seen, which is kind of fun, 'cause I don't know how many different things you had to go around, but that is definitely not a straight line.
My favorite is the one on 70 at State Street, right by Dutchess. There's like a half moon because they went around the sign. That's,
No, I think there's like a sewer.
that to me was great.
No cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can they now park from the street to the sidewalk before they down Panama, they kind of just took the whole thing. Now with the sidewalk being there, they can't bike the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Right, but can they park next to the sidewalk and a little out in the street?
They can't park on grass.
Okay.
So if it's grass, no.
I thought our parking regulations said that you can block the sidewalk overnight.
Oh, yeah, late,
But
like.
the
eight,
kids are gonna be
right,
walking
nine.
After
school
night, yeah.
before
No,
parking.
it's like, have to get your car out by 6 AM.
Yeah,
It has to be out of there by 6 AM.
Okay.
Which is actually contradictory to state law.
What is state?
Thanks, chief. Thanks, chief.
That you can't have a block of sidewalk.
Thank you.
You can't.
Yeah.
Thanks, chief.
Can we do that in Cook County?
Oh, God. There are no laws in Cook County.
Oh, there are laws.
I am aggressive.
You get crooked sidewalks, right?
Mr. Kelly, you had more to add. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, BDC will be meeting next Wednesday, the 13th, I believe. Correct, Mr. Khan? It is the second Wednesday. At Village Hall, same time, same channel. All are welcome. As far as the comprehensive plan update, do we have that going out to RFP yet, Mr. Khan? Have we posted that
Yeah.
now that the budget was approved?
Sorry for cutting you off. I have to discuss it honestly. I was there on it.
It's in the
That's
works. It's in the works. They have more internal meetings to discuss. But as you see, Ms. Steedhouse is not here to have that other side of the conversation, so we will keep you abreast, sir. Your Honor. Any other questions, comments, announcements?
I'd just like to commend the staff for having a retirement party for a 26-year employee. It really means something, you know, for 26 years, I can guarantee it, he put a lot of personal thought and time and blood and sweat and tears into it. And for staff to have a retirement party shows the quality of our village.
He deserved it. He impacted a lot of lives around here. Anybody you ever talked to, he impacted a lot of lives. And I talked to an individual he credits a lot of it, believe it or not. Tony credits a lot of it to Larry, and Larry doesn't work with us anymore, but he said the first week on the job, Larry saved his life. So
That's scary.
and so it's just that what I'm saying is the caring in that department for the other individuals within the department or our residents has been a longstanding tradition, and it's something that doesn't get lost, which is great. Any other questions? Motion to adjourn, question mark?
Motion to move. So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Aye.
Mr. Coe,
Aye.
Mrs. Palestrini,
Aye.
Mr. Robinson, Ms. Fodor,
Hi.
and Mr. Jonathan. Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you, everyone.